We'll do our best. Yeah, it's another odd experience, definitely, in the current circumstances. It's not possible for us to have a full commentary team in Cologne due to the restrictions on numbers under the COVID pandemic. So that means that all of our commentaries on the matches from now on this season in the Europa League and the Champions League will be studio-based. And I should say from the outset, get my excuses in first, it could pose some difficulties, so do bear with us. But as a result, Philip Neville and Darren Fletcher are alongside us here in the Strictly Come Dancing room at the BBC in Salford. So we'll see how it goes. And the teams are out on the pitch in Cologne. I'm told that it is very warm there. The temperature that UEFA have put on their official information is that it's 32 degrees. And certainly, Phil, when the players were warming up, we could see they were sweating heavily. And last we saw, it was a blue sky over Cologne. So that's a factor tonight.
It's a big factor. When you're talking over 33 degrees, it's really humid. I know the light's going down and the sun's going in, but still it's going to be really hot and humid. And United like to play at an intensity, so it'll be interesting to see if they can sustain that.
Great little stadium. Well, I say little stadium, it's a capacity of 50,000, but I'm not sure if you've been there, Phil, but I remember going there at the World Cup in 2006, and it can generate a brilliant atmosphere. It's very tight, 2 tiers all the way around, but of course it's behind closed doors. And the players have lined up for the Europa League theme, and the 2 captains are just coming together on the halfway line, where the French referee Clément Turpin is tossing the coin and asking Harry Maguire and Zeka where they're going to play, and then off they go. Harry Maguire to his Manchester United team, which is Sergio Romero in goal, back 4 of Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire and Williams. In midfield, Fred with Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba, and then the front line of Mason Greenwood, Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford. And the FC Copenhagen team, 2 changes from the team that played and beat the new Turkish champions Istanbul Başakşehir very well, 3-0 in the second leg of their tie, having been 1-0 down. Couple of little tweaks. Johnson's in goal, a back 4 of Guillermo Varela, who was a Manchester United youngster, the Uruguayan international, Victor Nelson and Andreas Bjelland in central defence, Nikolai Boylussen at left back. In midfield, the captain Zeka with Jens Steyer, Pep Biel on the right, Rasmus Falk on the left, and then one of the real danger men, Jonas Vint, who scored 2 of the goals against Istanbul, and young Mohamed Daramy is chosen up front, the 18-year-old, instead of the rather raw 19-year-old big Mikkel Kaufmann, who has had his first season and has struggled at times. So the whistle goes. Manchester United in the first half will be playing from left to right as we look, and immediately the ball is played back to Pogba and then back into central defence. So Manchester United in their new kit for the new season, even though this is the old season, the red shirts with the black shorts and the black socks, and FC Copenhagen in the all-white kit with the blue trim. And they've played the ball back to their Swedish international goalkeeper Carl-Johan Johnson, who's got the ball and is bouncing it and will clear it high into the Manchester United half, where Pogba gets up and heads it into opposition territory. Andreas Bjelland is there. Remember, he was at Brentford for a couple of seasons. And the left side of central defender, Bjelland, has the ball inside his own territory and just exchanges passes with the captain, Zeka, who's a Greek international, even though he's Portuguese born and bred, but took on Portuguese citizenship when he was at Panathinaikos. And so FC Copenhagen have the ball inside their own territory. So yes, Darren Fletcher and Philip Neville watching with us here, and FC Copenhagen hitting a long ball over the top. Here's one for Daramy to chase. He is fast, but it is headed away for Manchester United. Then Wan-Bissaka tangling. Falk takes it on as the ball finds its way to him. Falk with the long hair held back by the little headband. Now Vint on the left hand side tries to flick it infield towards Falk. Pogba's in there, it bounces back to Vint. Now on the left hand side, Daramy to the edge of the box. In comes the challenge on him from Bailly. Ball still in Manchester United right back area. Falk trying to work an opportunity, but Manchester United very tight, and eventually the ball is cleared away on the edge of the box, and Manchester United will break. with Martial. Now Rashford allows it to run, still not out of their own half yet, United. Rashford then takes it on over the halfway line, but BL forces him to check back into his own half, and United are back in possession. Philip Neville.
No, it's been a good start for Copenhagen. They will want to start the game really well. We spoke about their formation. Maybe it was a 4-5-1. It's definitely a 4-4-2. Bindon Durrami up front will look to put pressure on Maguire and Eric Bailly with the pace that they've both got. I think for United, Fred and Pogba will sit in midfield. Fernandes will play in behind Martial.
So it is one-off matches from now on, remember, in the Europa League and in the Champions League as well. We'll have lots of coverage and commentary on that. Long ball over the top for Manchester United, looking for Rashford, but the younger of the two central defenders, Victor Nelson, tall and blonde-haired, got his head to that and directed it behind and prevented it from reaching Rashford, and it's behind for the first corner of the game to Manchester United from the left-hand side. Bruno Fernandes is wandering over there to take it, and United have Martial and Rashford on the edge of the 6-yard box, and then 3 more players between the penalty spot and the edge of the area. Bruno Fernandes with the delivery to the near post, which is headed up and away safely for the Danish side, then helped back in towards the edge of the box. That one's nodded away by Varela on the edge of his own penalty area, and then the touch from Steer takes the ball out of play for a throw into Manchester United over on the left.
Well, I think you'll see United have a lot of possession. Copenhagen have started really bright, but I think United will look to control the game through their midfield players. The 3 in midfield will outnumber the 2 of Copenhagen, so once the game settles down, I think that will be what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will want.
What do you remember of Guillermo Varela at Manchester United? You can answer that in a moment, because Bruno Fernandes has chested it down and played it down the right hand side for Greenwood. Boyleson, the left back, goes down and puts in the challenge and knocks it out for a throw to United down the right.
Well, he signed when David Moyes obviously took over just as he came in. He was with Warren Joyce, the under-23 coach at the time, who gave him some real brutal sessions to try and get him accustomed to English football and to toughen him up a little bit, and he worked his absolute socks off. His attitude was fantastic, but just found it really hard to break through, and then so David Moyes left and Louis van Gaal came in, and he got a little bit of exposure to the first team, but it was clear probably early on that it was probably a little bit above him at the time.
Yep, big night for him though, and here he is trying to check the progress of Brandon Williams down the left hand side, but it breaks down for Manchester United, and FC Copenhagen will bring it away. Yeah, Varela actually ended up, after a number of loan spells, going back to Uruguay and back to his original club, Peñarol, the famous Uruguayan side, and got into the World Cup squad to go to Russia in the end. And here he is on the right hand side. BL just knocks it forward towards the edge of the box. Now Bruno Fernandes is able to take it up for Manchester United. He's the joint leading scorer, you know, Bruno Fernandes, in this competition. The Europa League this season, got 1 for Manchester United, but also 5 goals in the time that he was at Sporting in this competition earlier this season. Long pass from the left-hand side. This is for Wan-Bissaka, who's able to chest it down, keep it in play. Greenwood is there, makes himself available. Greenwood then turns it back more centrally to Fred. There's a run being made up the left-hand side. It's nodded back by Bruno Fernandes, but there was no one there in a red Manchester United shirt on the edge of the 6-yard area, and Nelson could clear.
Right, it was a good run from Bruno Fernandes, and Fred found him really well. Martial just didn't anticipate the ball coming back over.
Here is Martial again on the left-hand side, now on his own, United's top scorer this season. Goes up against Varela, who got the touch in and deflected it behind him. There's another Manchester United corner.
Well, it's twice United have got in down that right-hand side with diagonal runs in behind Varela. We're seeing the coach Solbakken there just telling his team just to liven up a little bit.
Ståle Solbakken, so we have 2 Norwegian coaches, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ståle Solbakken, who actually were quite long-time teammates in the Norwegian international side. Bruno Fernandes then with the corner for Manchester United. This is a deeper one to the back post. Maguire's there with the header, but he's adjudged to have fouled his man, Bjelland, and it's a free kick to Copenhagen. Let's bring in Darren Fletcher. How do you think it started? 6 minutes on the clock, 0-0.
Yeah, it's been a really lively start, and been surprised actually. Copenhagen have been aggressive and tried to press in that 4-4-2 formation, and as Phil said, once United get past those 2 strikers, they actually are quite happy to defend with only 8 players, as they did against Celtic, and Celtic created numerous chances and Copenhagen caught them on the counter-attack with those 2 strikers up the pitch, so maybe a similar sort of game plan tonight.
To find Manchester United players with us, on the commentary on 5 Live tonight, and we can also welcome listeners to Radio Manchester who are joining us for the evening as well, so you're very welcome. Here is Brandon Williams with the ball at the back for Manchester United. Maguire knocks it across, and Maguire takes a couple of touches, has a look forward. It must be very warm there. You can see already the players absolutely dripping with perspiration. Fred has taken it away from Maguire. Now here's Bruno Fernandes in the centre circle. Back it goes to Pogba, who just flicks it across towards Bailly, playing as the right-sided central defender. Lindelof among the substitutes. Bailly up through the middle towards Martial, who's leaned into, goes down and wins the free kick, middle of the half, Phil.
Yeah, important. It was a really good ball through from Eric Bailly. Martial just coming in off the front. United have got control of the game after 2 or 3 minutes when Copenhagen came out the traps really fast. Now it's all about United, and this looks like Rashford's range to me.
Yeah, Rashford will, I'm sure, be fancying this. He's got the ball. He's twirling it round on the ground and placing it on the spot that's been sprilled by the referee, who's back in the wall at the moment. 3-man Copenhagen wall. Rashford 5 yards from the ball, uses the front of his shirt to wipe the sweat from his face. Rashford comes up to hit the free kick, which he does low but well wide by a couple of yards at the left post.
No, he went for hitting across the ball with his instep. I think he has that little technique where he hits across the valve, but he just didn't quite hit it right, just dragged it. It's 2 weeks since United played. Was it 2 weeks since United played against Leicester? So they probably had 3 or 4 days off, so it'll take them a little while just to get back into the rhythm. Yeah. I do like this format of just a knockout, though. I think it takes away all the two-legged, cautious play. Both teams know they have to go for the victory.
Well, it's been a matter of circumstances really that we've ended up with these 2 little tournaments, but they could be fun. Here's Martial now into the penalty area, bounces to Greenwood, who was off balance, stabbed at it, and it was a comfortable take for the goalkeeper. Johnson going down to his right, and he gets up and underarms it out to Boyleson, the left back, the former Ajax man, and now Falk wriggles away from the challenge and plays it to Biel, and now Biel looks to Varela on his right hand side as FC Copenhagen make ground up the right wing, but then back it goes towards the halfway line, and Steyer knocks it back into his own half to the 2 central defenders. Big night this for FC Copenhagen. This is the furthest they have ever gone in one of the European club competitions. First quarter-final that they've ever been in, so a great night for them, and as usual just such a shame that I'm sure there'd have been thousands of their supporters in Cologne watching this match tonight and enjoying it. United with Pogba, his attempted pass for Rashford, headed away by Varela, and then Biel knocks it back to Varela, who has the bleach blonde hair, the Uruguayan, and gives it all the way back to his goalkeeper Johnson, who will pass it out to Victor Nelson. Right-footed ball from him, long and forward. Durrani got a touch on it, but it just bounced away from him. They've had a problem, basically, FC Copenhagen, because their 2 leading scorers this season, Piros Sotiru and the experienced Senegal international Damien Ndoye, have both left the club. They're there no more, and they've struggled for goals. And they've had a disappointing season domestically, finished second in the league, but a good way behind the new champions Midtjylland. And actually it's the European run that salvaged their season, and salvaged it in some style. But that's why they've replaced one teenager with another up front. And here they come with Boyleson, shaven-headed, slightly bearded, over the halfway line, still going, and then angles it in towards Jonas Vint. And Vint now looks for Varela on the right-hand side, gets a touch, plays it into the penalty area, and Biel is there, gives it back to Varela, and then Varela further back towards Steyer, who's come into the side after the Croatian midfielder Robert Mudrazaja played against Istanbul. Here's Varela again on the right-hand side, begins to weave infield. The challenge comes in on him, and United have it back. And Fred, looking for a little ball, having won the ball back with that challenge, gives it to Rashford, whose passing field is deflected into the path of Falk, and Falk, as Copenhagen will come forward again. Boyleson, they do just check it though, they're not going gung-ho by any means, and Boyleson will turn it infield, and they've got it again at the back with the captain Zeka. So Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0, 11 minutes played, and As I say, a one-off match, so there is the possibility tonight that it could go to extra time and penalties to decide it. And the winners, of course, will play either Wolves or Sevilla in the semi-final, and that match will be taking place this time tomorrow. Ian Dennis and Pat Nevin will be here in the Strictly Come Dancing room to bring you commentary on that match, which is actually being played in Duisburg. Here's Falk on the left-hand side for Copenhagen. Boyleson on the overlapping run. Falk goes infield towards Steyer, now to the corner of the box. Biel into the area up against Williams, gets the ball across, and Darami was in there, but there was a defender in the way as well, and he couldn't get any sort of meaningful contact on it, and United clear it out.
No, that was a half chance for Darami. That came because Marcus Rashford give two really sloppy passes away, and then Copenhagen just had 15-20 passes and got control of the game.
So we do have the possibility of Manchester United Wolves semi-final on Sunday night, which would also be played in this stadium where this match is being played in Cologne. Again, Manchester United defending. Boyleson's hammered the ball across. And it's caught Wan-Bissaka on the left side of his jaw and knocked him flat, and also gone behind for Copenhagen's first corner.
Right, caught him right in the face. We're just watching at the moment the cross from Biel on that right hand side, and it was out Bayard that just got in front of Darami there just before he was just about to hit the ball onto Sergio Romero's net. As we see Wan-Bissaka, he took one right in the face.
You felt that. That was a chance for Darami.
It was, and it was after some really good possession that they had, and it was Marcus Rashford that gave the ball away. And then it's the type of night when it's 33 degrees that you can't give the ball away, because the opposition will just keep possession of the ball. It'll make you run.
By the way, just while he's down, Wan-Bissaka, just making sure he's absolutely okay, all of the necessary checks. Big week for Manchester United, Wolves and Manchester City in Europe, but it's also a big week for one of our loyalist listeners. One of the star callers to 606 this season was Oscar Swedel, who is 12 on Wednesday. He listens to all of our football commentaries, Phil. He's a dedicated listener, so happy birthday to Oscar from all of us at 5 Live Sport, and I hope you'll be able to listen to many, many more with us as well. We don't normally do dedications. That's normally the sort of thing that Mark Chapman does, but I'm willing to make an exception for Oscar.
He loves that, Chappers, doesn't he? He loves getting close to the fans and getting all the praise.
Wan-Bissaka is on his feet. He's just been helped away, and it was quite a crack that he took. And actually, just as he reacted to it, he did look a little wobbly on his feet.
He did, and I think Boyleson, the left back who actually crossed the ball, is going off injured as well, so I'm not so sure whether that he overstretched for the pass that came out to him on this left hand side, and he's obviously being substituted now.
That's a blow to lose Boyleson, important player for them, as I say, the former Ajax man, and he is, however, replaced by an experienced figure, Pierre Bengtsson, the Swedish international left back, so a straight swap. Difficult to tell. Has Wan-Bissaka come back on? Anyway, it's a corner to Copenhagen, played into the near post, and an important diving header away by Williams at the back post as well, after a near post flick which I think came off United head. Wan-Bissaka's racing back onto the field. He's just appeared in the picture. Here the ball on the right hand side with Biel still going, plays it in field, and now Darami, little ball to the edge of the area, comes back to Darami. A weak shot, but it was very nearly reached by Steyer, who was a little sluggish actually to get there, and then couldn't keep the ball in the end.
This was brilliant defending. It came off the head of Martial, flicked towards the second 6-yard box, and Brandon Williams coming in off the post just as Nelson was coming in behind him. Brilliant defending from the young left back.
But that's a blow for Copenhagen to lose Boyleson.
It is a blow, because his delivery and his crosses from his left hand side, he's got good experience as well.
But Bengtsson, as I say, experienced, 32 years old now. He's won 3 league titles in his 2 spells, and actually they're just showing us a shot of Boyleson, who looks absolutely distraught. He's got a towel or a shirt or something, and he's got that over his head on the bench, bowed forward, sweat absolutely pouring off him. And if FC Copenhagen were able to get through to a semi-final tonight and knock out Manchester United, it would seem likely that he wouldn't be able to be involved. But it is Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. This is 5 Live Sport and Radio Manchester from the BBC. And Got a little problem here. Yeah, good, fixed it with my television. Here's Vint. Vint plays it through to Durrami. Durrami to the edge of the penalty area. Durrami pulls it back on his left foot now, but Maguire slides in, blocks it. Vint with a chance. Stair hits the shot. That's blocked on the edge of the 6-yard area, and Manchester United scramble it clear. And that's the first big chance, really, for either side. As United break away downfield, but Greenwood uses his arm to close down the clearance from Bjelland. But Durrami in again.
Well, they were lucky because they were sloppy at the back, playing out from the back. You've just seen a handball from Mason Greenwood there, as looks to counter-attack, but United, with Durrami in the area there, he just drifted, just cut back on Eric Bailly. He thought he was just going to slot it into the bottom left-hand corner. 2 or 3 times United have give it away in dangerous areas, and they've been punished nearly.
Yeah, a couple of alarms now for Manchester United, but it is still 0-0. But Bruno Fernandes has been fouled in the just to the left of the middle of the half, and it'll be a free kick to Manchester United. But a couple of concerning moments down Fletcher.
No, without a doubt, I think Copenhagen have been the better team. United looked sloppy, they've been miles off it, and Copenhagen have played with much more intensity, winning the ball back. The front two are causing all sorts of problems when they probably should be ahead, but that was a great chance, and it looks like something like that might kickstart United. You can see Bruno Fernandes started to dictate and point and press. He realises that United aren't at it, and he's getting after them now.
A little bit further out this free kick. Bruno Fernandes is going to take it. Must be best part of 40 yards. Bruno Fernandes curls it over the defensive line, but also beyond Harry Maguire as well, and it just bounces through for a goal kick, and it was wasted.
It was, and we're just watching. It was Fred that gave the ball away. Vint, who just played in Durrami. Eric Bailly got back, tried to slide in the area. It was blocked by Harry Maguire. Then it came back to Vint and Biel, who just mishit it really. United got off with that. The last couple of minutes to just give away a couple of half chances. You just think, well, you just got to start concentrating, keep possession of the ball better.
And actually looking at it again, Eric Bailly, when he was sliding in there, if Durrami had gone to ground, he might have had a shout for a penalty as well, but the opportunity was there for him, not able to take it, and it's still Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. We've got the first goal of the quarter-finals though. Inter are winning 1-0 against Bayer Leverkusen in the match that's being played in Dusseldorf tonight, and Barella has scored the opening goal for Antonio Conte's Inter, as United clear Wan-Bissaka, but it took a deflection, and Romero had to be quick actually to get across there and field that. Again, just a little bit sloppy. Incidentally, the Inter team tonight, Ashley Young's in the side, Lukaku's in the side, Sanchez is on the bench for Inter, who are 1-0 up. They'll be the favourites on the other side of the draw.
They will. I'm just going back to United. They look miles off it at this moment in time. They look sloppy. They look like they haven't actually had a game for 2 weeks, and it looks like it's showing.
Yeah, since the final Sunday of the Premier League. We did have the second leg against Lask. Here's Williams, who pulls the ball across, and it comes off Biel and behind for a Manchester United corner. This will be a welcome bit of respite. But they did, United, make 6 changes from the second leg that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer picked against the Austrian side, when United were, to all intents and purposes, already through after the big win in the away leg. So it's a corner for Manchester United, which is taken short to Fred. Bruno Fernandes gives it back to Fred. Fred's cross right-footed to the back post. Maguire nods it across, takes a flick, and then headed over the top by Bruno Fernandes.
Let's give a penalty.
The whistle's gone. Has he? I'm not sure he has he? I think he's given that as a foul. Oh, it's offside.
Offside.
Yeah, it's offside. It's a free kick to FC Copenhagen. But in the end, Bruno Fernandes heading it over from 6 yards, but it's a free kick to FC Copenhagen.
He did point to the penalty spot then, John. So to be fair, when the ball came into the box and Harry Maguire headed it back over, his initial reaction was just to point to the penalty spot. Well, obviously it was an offside decision. Got slightly excited there, me and Fletch.
20 minutes played. Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0, and the Danish side have had the better opportunities so far. The furthest they've ever been in one of the European club competitions, as I mentioned. They actually started out in Oswestry at the Park Hall Stadium in the second qualifying round of the Champions League against the New Saints. Got through that one, lost on penalties in the next round in the Champions League against Red Star Belgrade, so they dropped into the Europa League. They won a playoff tie against Riga of Latvia. Then they finished second in their group, and then knocked out Celtic, then knocked out Istanbul Basaksehir, and here they are now against Manchester United. It's not straightforward in the Europa League by any means. And Inter are now 2-0 up on Leverkusen. Romelu Lukaku has scored the second goal, so Inter already looking good against Bayer Leverkusen, who do have Kai Havertz in their team again this evening. Ball out of play for FC Copenhagen, a throw-in on the far side. All of that means that this is now their 56th match in all competitions this season. Varela with the throw, up the line into the Manchester United half. Maguire gets to it, then gets his foot to it as well, into the centre circle. Greenwood back towards Wan-Bissaka, who's shaken off that knock on the jaw, but Bruno Fernandes was a little slack there, and Zeka has nicked it away, and he's into the penalty area. The FC Copenhagen captain then miscontrols it straight behind for a goal kick.
Well, they pressed really well. When United have had the ball in that middle third, they pressed really well. They took the ball off Fernandes. It was Zeka that went through, just didn't have any support in the middle, tried to take on Eric Bailly, just got his foot in slightly wrong. But United have got to be careful when they're trying to build up from the back, because Copenhagen are pressing really well.
Halfway through the first half, over in Cologne, Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. Commentary on Wolves Sevilla tomorrow night, as well as coverage of the Dundee United Hibernian game, rest of the midweek programme on Wednesday night. But this is the Europa League quarter-finals, the first of them tonight. Inter already in a good position, 2-0 up. Williams for United just heading the ball in field and giving possession to Copenhagen. Biel uses Mohamed Darami, and then Darami with a Zidane-style attempted turn that goes all wrong, and Pogba plays it through the middle, and now Martial to Greenwood. The pass takes him wide out to the right-hand side. Now he takes it out into the full-back position. Greenwood back centrally towards Pogba. Pogba with Zeka in front of him, gives it square to Fred, and then Rashford back to Fred, and all the way back into the centre circle to Bailly. Pogba again. Copenhagen players either side of him, turned by Martial, who went down rather belatedly. Ball runs into the penalty area. Nelson wasn't sure if the goalkeeper was going to come for it, took it away himself and cleared it towards the halfway line. And Manchester United are back in possession, and Fred with his shirt hanging outside his shorts, and then Rashford pings a pass forward, but that's beyond the run of Greenwood and through the goal kick, and it's still 0-0. Phil Neville.
No, that's twice now they've tried to play the ball over the top. I think United just need to just get 2 or 3 passing rhythms and get control of the ball. It's been a little bit basketball game backwards and forwards, and Copenhagen, I think, in this first 24 minutes, I think Ollie will be pleased for this drinks break, because he'll be able to tell them to start concentrating and taking care with their passing a lot better than what they have.
Cooling break, it says on our screen, so that's what's happening, and I think they need it, Darren Fletcher.
No, they do. Phil's right. United just have to get a hold of the ball and pass it. Copenhagen are pressing really aggressively in certain areas, but once United get past that press, they're only defending with 8 players because they're leaving 2 up. That's where they have to move the ball side to side, nice and safe, work Copenhagen's back 4, who are getting really narrow, and be a little bit patient. At the same time, when Copenhagen do press, if United can play 2 or 3 great passes, trust me, they're in on Copenhagen's defence, and with the pace of Martial, Rashford and Greenwood, they could tear this team apart. They just seem to not be at it. It looks like even in a hot night, they're just a little bit lethargic. If United step it up 20%, I'd fancy them strongly. It's just that Copenhagen just seem to be the more organised and are just a little bit more up for it.
A lot of chatting going on in the Manchester United huddle, and they've had a couple of alarms. Those opportunities, both of them actually for Darami, the 18-year-old. Did you spot the alarming moment here as well, Phil? Just before that second Darami opportunity, when it actually flashed up on my screen that if I didn't press a button on the remote control, it was going to go off in 30 seconds.
Was that panic station?
It was panic stations.
No, you've seen in the Premier League this season how these drinks breaks have actually changed the momentum of the game. You think Copenhagen for the first 24 minutes probably dominated, but now United need to come out. I think with Martial, Rashford and Greenwood, you could see signs that if they show any bit of quality, they could cut through this Copenhagen defence.
Goal back for Bayer Leverkusen. Kai Havertz has scored. Inter 2, Bayer Leverkusen 1, but still 0-0 in Cologne between Manchester United and FC Copenhagen. Fortunately, the television is still on. Problem was, it's a different remote control from my one at home, and I didn't know where the right button was, but I eventually found it. If it goes off, if it's anything like my television at home, it takes about 10 minutes to come on. Manchester United with the ball on the left-hand side. Here's Fred over the halfway line, then Fernandes makes himself available and then knocks it back towards Bailly onto his right foot. Bailly drives it low and forward towards Greenwood. Greenwood then uses Bruno Fernandes, then back to Greenwood, who the challenge came in on him from Steyer, just outside the D, 2 or 3 yards. I think there was enough contact there. Certainly the referee Clement Turpin has said, yep, free kick Manchester United. Now this is in a good position.
Well, it's the third time they've actually fouled in that area of the pitch. This time it's really just outside the penalty area. Rashford or Fernandes will probably fancy this. It's a better range than the previous two that were probably 35-40 yards out. This is in a dangerous area where United have to hit the target.
Just actually taken it a little further out than where the offence caused. Definitely a free kick.
Yeah, he tried to nick in front of him and I think he just caught the back of his Achilles there, and that's why Mason Greenwood went down.
I think it's going to be Bruno Fernandes, at least that's how it's shaping up. Already 10 goals for Manchester United, and Pogba to the left of the ball. Fred is there as well. Bruno Fernandes was the man who placed it though. There's the whistle, here's the free kick. Bruno Fernandes over the wall, but over the bar as well by probably 6 yards.
Poor from Bruno Fernandes.
Shakes his head.
Yeah, you expect better from him. He's got better quality than that. You see Fred and Pogba was around and Rashford was around the ball as well. He's disappointed, he's throwing his arms, he knows he's better than that, but still Copenhagen can't keep giving free kicks away just in front of their area. They will get punished.
Yeah, as Darren says, just need to step it up really. It hasn't clicked for them at all tonight. United just one defeat in their last 23 matches in all competitions. The FA Cup semi-final against Chelsea at Wembley on a day when it didn't happen for them there either. FC Copenhagen, you can tell how spirited they are. I think that's a large part of what's got them to where they are here, the European quarter-final. Steyer will be relieved that the conceding of that free kick didn't prove to be costly. Maguire takes down his pass forward. Now Fred on his left foot, a high one through the middle. Greenwood takes it down high on his chest, gives it back to Martial, 30 yards out on his right foot, then thought about having a go, but the challenge came in, so used Wan-Bissaka. Greenwood now on the right hand side. Pogba takes it on. Pogba with the outside of his right boot lifts a pass towards the left side of the penalty area. Rashford's got the ball on the ground. Rashford trying to work a position. 2 men there with him. Then puts his foot on the ball. Then chips it in towards Martial on the stretch, who couldn't reach it, and it's through for a goal kick.
No, it's better. And it's Martial, Rashford and Greenwood all combining. It comes out to this right hand side with Greenwood. Then he switches out to Rashford on the left and he just tries to dink it just from the corner of the 18-yard box into Martial, who'd made a real intelligent run behind the Copenhagen centre-back. It's better from United, more speed, more quality.
But still Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0, with almost half an hour on the clock, and Inter leading Bayer Leverkusen by 2-1. At half-time, by the way, we'll be looking ahead to the Wolves tie. Tomorrow night we'll have the latest from the World Snooker as well. Quarter-finals underway at the World Snooker. Things really hotting up. If you haven't heard, Ronnie O'Sullivan 6-2 down this afternoon to Mark Williams, and Judd Trump is in action tonight, so more on that at half-time. But the ball out of play for a throw-in, and it's going to be taken by the substitute, Bengtsson, just in front of the dugouts, about 15 yards inside the Manchester United half. Back to Zeka. Zeka in the middle, the tall number 10, to the little right back, Varela. Now Biel on the right draws the challenge, and the final touch was off Biel and out of play for a throw into Manchester United. Biel scored the second goal, which really swung it away from Celtic in the second leg of their tie in the last 32. Manchester United playing it forward, but Wan-Bissaka halfway inside his own half uses the available Pogba, who looks up and hits one of those long passes downfield onto the head of his midfield mate Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes now to Brandon Williams. Williams cuts it back, edge of the area. Greenwood takes a touch, just miscontrolled it though. Copenhagen cleared, but only partially. Then they got it away on the edge of the box as well from Martial, and in the end the ball just runs out of play for a Manchester United throw halfway inside Copenhagen territory. Throw back towards the halfway line. Fred is having to scamper for this. Durrani, as we've mentioned, is very quick, was almost on him, but Fred did get there first. And here's Rashford again on the left-hand side. Maguire, and then back to Fred, who's virtually positioned in between the two central defenders here inside his own half. And it goes from Bailly back to Maguire, who's going to go on one of his little wanders forward, and then uses Rashford, who drives it in low into the penalty area to Bruno Fernandes, who passed it back to Williams. Williams makes a run, but the ball finds Pogba. Pogba now turns onto his left foot and just touches it to his left to Bruno Fernandes. Now back to Pogba. Bruno Fernandes again, left-footed cross, headed away by Bielan, still inside the penalty area. Wan-Bissaka back outside the box to Greenwood, on his left foot, shoots, and it hits the head of Bielan, the central defender, and loops wide and high and behind for a corner.
No, they're beginning to play, they're beginning to get combinations in and around the box. Pogba and Fernandes there linking up, they're beginning to have an influence on the game. Rashford, Martial and Greenwood are really sharp in and around the box now. It's going to be a good period this for Manchester United.
Trademark Greenwood, that, wasn't it? Finding a position and having a go at goal, but the deflection took it wide. So another corner. Bruno Fernandes raises his right arm, in it goes to the edge of the 6-yard box. Nelson got his head to it to clear it into the left back area, and Manchester United go again with Fred. His ball over the top. Rashford on the stretch, might have been offside, but it bounced through to Johnson anyway in the Copenhagen goal.
Well, they've had joy. They've nearly had joy in this game from them balls from this right-hand side over the back with Rashford or Martial running in behind the right-back Varela. It's obviously a weakness that Ollie's seen for that run that they keep making.
Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0, on 5 Live and Radio Manchester from the BBC. And a foul by Bailly, 10 yards inside the United half. Got up high and ended up on top of Vint, who we've not seen a great deal of yet in the match, but as I say, they tell me, I spoke to our Danish colleagues from the Danish broadcasters DR this morning, and they said great things are expected of Vint, who's just 21 years old. Scored 10 goals in 18 appearances this season, having recovered from a nasty knee injury. Free kick then. Bielan is going to take this. High one to the far side of the penalty area. It's headed across by Nelson, the other central defender. Headed clear to Bial, and then back to Zeka, who just directed back to Varela on the halfway line. Bielan again. Rashford closes him down, but Bielan's pass is too long and bounces through for a goal kick. So let's bring in Darren Fletcher again. 10 minutes to go at half-time, Darren.
Yeah, United have been so much better since the drinks break. It seems like Ollie's got a hold of them. Fred's dropping in, creating the 3v2 against the two strikers, allowing United to build up and create an overload there. They're getting width because Copenhagen's defence is nice and narrow, and they've created some chances. They look so much sharper. Bruno Fernandes is starting to point and dictate. And just one more thing, Marcus Rashford's passing is unbelievable. Everyone thinks of him as a dribbler and a shooter. His way to pass and his eye for a pass is fantastic, and he's just had a couple of them there that nearly created some great opportunities for United.
United with it inside their own half. To Pogba. Pogba slips it forward. Bruno Fernandes has a look up, tried to slit the ball forward towards Rashford into his path, just got a little too much on it, and it ran through to goalkeeper Johnson.
Is that running behind again? Is it running behind Nelson, the right centre-back, and Varela, just making that run through? I think Fernandes again will be disappointed that he didn't find the pass. It was splitting the centre-backs. I think United now, if they keep concentration at the back, do not get sloppy in the way that they're playing out, I think United will win this game comfortably.
Yeah, big favourites. But FC Copenhagen are holding their own, and it's still 0-0. Inter leading Bayer Leverkusen by 2-1 in the other match tonight on the other side of the draw. And we'll have commentaries from the Champions League later this week. Manchester City's match against Lyon on Saturday night, and before that the Barcelona-Bayern Munich game on Friday night. But we'll also be keeping you across Atalanta PSG on Wednesday, RB Leipzig Atletico Madrid on Thursday. 4 big nights in the Champions League later this week, and the semi-finals and the finals to come next week. Varela with the ball for Copenhagen, out on their right hand side, back to Nelson. They've got the classic old guy, young guy central defensive partnership. Nelson 21, Bielan 32. But here's Bengtsson on the left-hand side now, the substitute. Bengtsson taking on Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka puts in the challenge, goes to ground. But Bengtsson comes out with the ball, drives it across, but that's blocked by Bailly. Comes back to him, and it's cleared away towards the halfway line. And Copenhagen will start again. Zeka turns, middle of the United half. Falk has gone a little quiet in the game. Lifts the ball out to Varela on the right though. Varela's ball into the near post. Durrami was in there, but Bailly came across, and he forced the ball wide. Has that gone for a corner? Yes, it has.
There's Durrami again, just getting in between Maguire and Eric Bailly. Eric Bailly did really well. It was a good ball from that right-hand side, but Durrami tries to get across the near post of the centre-back. Eric Bailly just slices it out for a corner.
So Pep Biel, the Spaniard from Mallorca, is going to take this corner, an in-swinger. Here it is, into the 6-yard box. Romero comes, gets a punch, only out to Durrami on the edge of the box, who tried to lay it off, but it was very nearly nipped away by Fred, and Copenhagen had to go all the way back towards the halfway line. 6 minutes or so to go to half-time. Zeka, then to Durrami in a deeper position, and then back to the halfway line where Biela will use Durrami, and Durrami didn't force it forward, blocked away back into Copenhagen territory, and Bjelland will start again. Zeka makes himself available on the left hand side. The ball bounces off Pogba to Bengtsson, who manages to work it infield to Zeka. Here's Falk twisting and turning, but under pressure from Wan-Bissaka, and Pogba was there, and in the end he just stabbed it out for a throw-in to Manchester United. Absolutely, it's obviously a sweltering evening over there in Germany, and Falk with a long lank hair is hanging very limply down the side of his head, absolutely soaked. Maguire with the ball at the back, still 0-0. Maguire on his right foot lifts the pass to the right to Wan-Bissaka, goes down by Falk, and the ball bounces out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United, which is disputed by Falk, who eventually gives the ball back. Just the way it's going at the moment, I think Copenhagen would be quite happy if they're able to get in at 0-0.
Yeah, I think it's in that period of the game where they started the game really well. They then went into the drinks break, and they've come out to that, and United have stepped it up a little bit. They've played with more intensity, more quality, and now it's about getting to that half time for Copenhagen, still at 0-0. I think the longer the game goes on, I think Copenhagen will be more happy that the game remains at 0-0.
Falk stretches and deflects a pass out of play from Miller, throw to Manchester United.
The heat is having an effect. You see the drop in intensity from Copenhagen from the first 20 minutes to now. I think United will go through periods like that as well in 33-degree heat.
So it's a throw-in for United. Wan-Bissaka has managed to relocate the ball. I think it got stuck underneath something down on that side of the pitch. Takes the throw back to Maguire, and a long pass to the left-hand side. Rashford has peeled out there and is now cutting in field. Biela's with him. He uses Pogba at close quarters. Then Steyer comes and blocks the progress of Pogba. And Pogba receives it back from Fred. Williams. Luke Shaw out injured for the rest of this season, so Williams receives the ball again. Williams looking for Rashford, only 6 or 7 yards away from him. Ball stationary at his feet, and Rashford flicks it to the right, tried to just knock a ball into the penalty area low, but that was cut out, and Copenhagen will come forward with Durrami, who was quickly challenged by Fred, and Manchester United have got it back. I suspect that Manchester United now beginning to dominate the possession in the game. FC Copenhagen had those opportunities. Durrami with both of them, the chance at the near post, and then the effort inside the penalty area, not able to convert either of them, so still 0-0. And United now growing in confidence slowly. Bruno Fernandes, his ball forward, gets it back, has a little look out towards the right hand side, and then just flicks a pass with his right instep to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka, Greenwood is being forced away from the penalty area by Steyer. Bruno Fernandes again. Fernandes finds Wan-Bissaka, had to stretch for it a little bit, then drags it back. Falk in front of him. Then Greenwood with a touch. Bruno Fernandes now goes for a cross-field pass. Williams is going to do well actually to keep that in. He can't on the stretch, and it's a throw into Copenhagen.
I think that was originally I think that was a pass into Pogba, and just really overwritten it. It left Brandon Williams 10-yard sprint to try and keep it in on the other side. Fernandez hasn't found his range yet from free kicks, from them little passes. Just needs to relax, play the simple pass just to find his way into the game. You don't want him to stop trying to play that difficult pass, but it's not worked for him yet in this first half.
Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0 remains the score. We've been used to seeing all of the very individual canvases over the seats in the Premier League grounds, but in a neutral venue it's all very black Europa League branding. Ball forward for Manchester United. Bruno Fernandes got his head to it, but Nelson got there first with Martial arriving and was just able to direct it back to goalkeeper Johnson, who is bouncing the ball a couple of times. A 30-year-old Swedish international. Right-footed ball downfield. Vint can't get to it. Bailly wins it in the air. Wan-Bissaka, and then back to Bailly on the edge of his own penalty area. Maguire turns, will work it out towards the left-hand side to Williams, and then Fred has a look up, but will work it across to the right to Pogba. Pogba now over the halfway line, the low pass to Greenwood, who looks and sees Williams in space on the left-hand side. Williams, Rashford, just 10 yards inside Copenhagen territory. Back to Maguire, and Maguire in the two-tone yellow and pink boots. Low pass over the halfway line to Fred. Fred then to Bruno Fernandes, 30 yards out. Bruno Fernandes to the edge of the penalty area to Martial, who was challenged by Varela, went down, but there are no appeals for a penalty, and Copenhagen cleared away.
It was clumsy from Varela. Just wonder whether Martial, when the ball was coming into him, could have just took the ball forward rather than cutting it back on his right foot, which enabled Varela to get back and win the ball back, but I thought it was a little bit clumsy.
Yeah, just for half a moment you wondered whether he might have taken man and not ball. Pogba, still 0-0. Williams. Pogba again. And Pogba twisting up against Durrani. This works it back towards Bailly near the halfway line. Fred, once again in that deep line position in between. It's almost like they've got a back three in these sort of scenarios. Maguire with the pass forward now. This could be something for Greenwood, who turns, sets off to the edge of the area. Wan-Bissaka's ball across, takes a deflection. Martial couldn't get the shot in. It sort of bounced off his chest. He was stretching for it, and Nelson was able to nip in and clear it away. Manchester United come again, stepping it up. Bruno Fernandes to the edge of the box. Varela puts in the challenge on Rashford and is able to get the ball, but clears it straight to Maguire, so it comes back at Copenhagen again. Williams is able to shrug off, stare, and then use Rashford, and Rashford has a little look goalwards, and it's parried by the goalkeeper. Shot from an angle near the corner of the box. It was straight at him, and he just parried it straight back from where it came, and Copenhagen cleared.
Two big moments for United. Martial, when the ball came in from Wan-Bissaka on this right-hand side, I thought, why did you chest it? Just go and head it. You stoop low and head it in, and then when the ball came back out to the left-hand side, the keeper made a little bit of a meal of a straight shot straight at him. It's there for United to go, to show a little bit more quality in the final third. There's goals here for United.
Ball headed forward by Rashford to Greenwood. Greenwood from an angle, shoots in off the far post. It's a goal for Manchester United, the first of the quarter-final, and it is Mason Greenwood who's done it again for Manchester United, his 18th goal of the season, and it is Manchester United 1, FC Copenhagen 0, with only seconds to go of the first half.
Well, it was a brilliant finish from Mason Greenwood. The Copenhagen defenders are looking at Martial coming back from an offside position, but it was Mason Greenwood that anticipated it. Rashford was square, but he just slashed it into the bottom right-hand corner with his right foot. He's ball-footed, this kid. He's going to be one hell of a player.
The Copenhagen players are talking to the referee, and VAR are having a look at this because it was quite close, Darren Fletcher, for offside.
I think it's offside. It's a great finish from Mason Greenwood. I think Phil said it initially as offside. It looked offside. I know Martial's coming back as well, but Mason Greenwood looks like he's just a yard offside.
Well, certainly the Copenhagen players think it is, but it's all down to VAR, who are still checking the goal.
It looked offside.
Yeah, it did. And we're not actually seeing on our screen the VAR pictures as we're accustomed to, so we're just going to have to wait like everybody else. And the rectangle is being shown in the eye by the referee, which always indicates that the decision of goal has been overturned and so Greenwood was in an offside position when the ball was played through to him, and it is a free kick to FC Copenhagen, and it remains 0-0.
I just wonder whether Mason Greenwood there will be kicking himself, because he could see across the line, he could see where he needed to be. Martial was not interfering, he was wandering back because he was closing the keeper down.
Oh yeah, we've now been shown the pictures, and well, he's a yard offside.
It was a good body offside, yeah, it was a good decision. Ollie knew straight away, but I just wonder whether Mason Greenwood's got to get himself back on side quicker, and he's cost himself a goal.
So it is still Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. We're in the second minute of 4 of added time at the end of the first half. I suspect it might be a little bit more than that after the VAR delay, but it was the right decision, and it remains 0-0. But again, Greenwood just giving Copenhagen a warning of what he's capable of when he gets into that sort of position. He's took about a nose for goal, Phil.
Well, I think when you look at that front three,
ball over the top that Nelson has to stretch for and gets his head to. Rashford was gambling behind, and then Varela has drawn the foul from Rashford, so it's a free kick to Copenhagen.
When you look at Rashford and you look at Martial, I've got to say I think Mason Greenwood is the best finisher out of the three of them. More natural, the way that he can take it with either foot, dribbles with his left, dribbles with his right, and can hit it any style with any foot. I think he's more natural, more clinical finisher than Martial and Rashford.
What have all the youngsters at United been saying about him over these last years?
Well, I think if you date back 12 months ago when I started watching the under-18s, they said straight away this kid's going to be special. And to be a centre forward, to be a goal scorer coming up through the academy, you do need to be special. And I think what we're seeing is people talk about going out there getting centre forwards. I think this kid could be Manchester United's next number 9 without a shadow of a doubt.
Yep, needs just one more if that goal had stood to break the record for the most goals in the season by a Manchester United teenager. And there have been some decent teenage goal scorers for Manchester United over the years, but it is still 0-0 after that Greenwood goal was ruled out by VAR. United deep in added time at the end of the first half. Pogba playing it through to the edge of the penalty area. Rashford, Bruno Fernandes was on his heels there as Rashford played it forward, and the ball just dribbles over the line for a goal kick, and Rashford puts his hands on his knees. So first half almost up, still 0-0. Relatively few chances actually across the half for either side.
Few chances, couple of hard chances. I think since the drinks break, United have been much better. I think in the final third, just take care with the extra pass. I think there's goals here for Man United. That's what Ollie will be saying to them at half time.
It's actually been adjusted on the screen from 4 minutes of added time to 5 minutes of added time. I don't think I've ever seen that before. 0-0, the goal kick, and we are now in the 5th minute. We've got approximately 30 seconds of added time to play. Falk puts in the challenge. Bruno Fernandes was just caught by Zeka, just limps away, hobbles away to telegraph the fact that he was caught, but the referee gives the free kick. So one last set piece for Manchester United before the half-time break. I think they've got just about enough time to take it. It will be taken by Bruno Fernandes. They're holding up a high line FC Copenhagen. He has the delivery from Bruno Fernandes over the top. Harry Maguire suggesting that he got a nudge there from Varela, but the ball was away beyond them and behind for a goal kick. And I think that'll be it for the first half. 0-0.
Yeah, I think Fernandes probably hasn't had his best half. His delivery from set players has been really poor.
So 0-0 it is. Darren Fletcher, we'll pick the bones out of that.
Yeah, United finished the half a lot better. Mason Greenwood with an unbelievable finish from a difficult angle, though he was offside. But the contrast pre-drinks break to after it was vast. I think the tactical change from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to drop Fred into the 3 centre-backs to create that 3v2 overloads and allowed United to control the game. Copenhagen's intensity and pressing's dropped off as well because of the heat. If United just take a little bit of care in the final third, there's opportunities for them there. Final pass just hasn't been there. It's been behind people, it's been at the wrong angle, the wrong decision. There's chances for Manchester United. If they step it up again, this game's here for the taking. But Copenhagen have dug in and are always a threat with those 2 strikers on the counter-attack.
So with the players leaving the field over in Cologne at half-time in this Europa League quarter-final, it's Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. Thank you, Mark. Yes, strange old world. We're sitting here across the water from Old Trafford watching Manchester United in Cologne. where it is 0-0 and the players have walked back out onto the pitch, and some very red faces, I must say, that we can see on our screen because it's so hot in Cologne this evening, late into the evening there. The teams, Manchester United not making any changes, I don't think, at half-time. So Romero in goal, he's been relatively untroubled so far. The back four, Wan-Bissaka, Bailly, Maguire and Williams. Fred, Bruno Fernandes and Pogba in midfield, Greenwood, Martial and Rashford up front. Late on in the half, Rashford had the shot that actually hit the goalkeeper in the chest and came back out, and Greenwood put the ball in the net. Very good finish, but was offside when the ball was played through. So that the United side, and FC Copenhagen, Carl-Johan Johnson, their goalkeeper. The back four is Varela, Nelson Bjelland and substitute Bengtsson, who came on for Nikolai Boyleson, who had to go off injured. He's missed most of this season with an injury as well, Boyleson, so great disappointment as the French referee Clément Turpin starts the second half, which sees FC Copenhagen kick off, and then in midfield Jens Steyer and Zeka in the middle, Biel on the right, Falk on the left, Vint and Durami the forward players. Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. 5 Live Sport, and also welcome back listeners to Radio Manchester, who are with us this evening for the commentary. And it is FC Copenhagen in their white kit defending the end to the left as we look at the pictures in the second half against Manchester United. Red shirts, black shorts and black socks, and the ball's found its way from one goalkeeper, Johnson, at one end to Sergio Romero at the other. Here is Biel trying to lift the ball over the top of Brandon Williams, and is fouled by him, so it's a free kick to Manchester United deep inside their own half. We've got Philip Neville and Darren Fletcher, two former Manchester United players, Champions League winners, with us for the commentary. What are you looking for, Phil, from Manchester United now?
Well, United have got to go and take the game to Copenhagen. They finished the half really strongly. There were combinations up front that really got you off the edge of your seats. Now they need to put the finishing touches to it. That final pass, the final cross and the shot on goal needs to be better. But United grew in the game, and they must not make any mistakes at the back like they did in the first 20 minutes, and Copenhagen got some joy.
Agree with Phil again, Darren?
Yeah, without a doubt, Copenhagen have came out again and started really aggressive and pressed like they did first half. Once United get past the two strikers who stay up the pitch, they've got 4 defenders, 4 midfielders who play really narrow. If United work the ball side to side quickly, they'll get gaps through the middle eventually, because it's impossible to cover the full pitch like that. And as they do that with intensity and a bit of care, they'll carve open this Copenhagen team, get that first goal and make this night a lot more easier.
Vint winning the free kick for Copenhagen out on the left hand side. Now Biel has gone over there to take this. A left-footed delivery from him, or the right from Falk. Falk runs over it. Biel plays it in. Romero comes and then stops, and it is actually headed away by Pogba. And then Falk just blasts it back high and over the defensive line and beyond the far post for a goal kick. So Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. Williams just turns away from Biel and sets off down the left wing. Blonde hair bobbing Brandon Williams. The Mancunian back to Fred. Fred just shuffles forward with it and then hits a low cross ball straight into the path of Falk. So Copenhagen have the ball back with Bengtsson over on the left hand side, who plays it back to Swedish goalkeeper Johnson. Harry Maguire gets up high for a header, comes back to Maguire, sends it over the halfway line to Pogba, and Pogba was just tugged back, so it's a free kick to Manchester United. Just a little tug by Biel, and United knock it back into their own half and start off again. Fred, then Bruno Fernandes, Martial draws the foul, another little foul by Steyer. They're stacking up from him. Pogba, he's off on a run towards the edge of the area. Pogba goes down, but found the pass to Rashford. Rashford beats Varela, goes for the byline, cuts it back again onto his right foot, lays it back to Bruno Fernandes. It's a packed penalty area, back to Pogba, who tried to curl it. Zeka was throwing himself in front of it, and he actually hit it well wide.
He did, he skied it out to that right hand side, but it just couldn't come down. Rashford went past Varela, Varela got back, then he pulled it back to Fernandes. Fernandes just couldn't quite get it out of his feet to get a shot off. Backheeled it to Pogba. They closed it down really well there, Copenhagen, but what we saw at the end of the first half, the combination in and around the box can be devastating at times, and they need to keep that intensity up.
Inter beating Bayer Leverkusen 2-1 in the other quarter-final underway in the Europa League this evening. On 5 Live tomorrow night, commentary on Wolves Sevilla, and Shakhtar Donetsk and Basel play in the other quarter-final. And we have Champions League for you later in the week, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday night, commentary on Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Saturday, Manchester City against Lyon. Here's Rashford away down the left-hand side. Rashford looks up, plays the ball in. It's headed away on the edge of the box by Nelson, who just got a glance to it, actually, which took it out on the far side. In fact, I don't think he got a touch on it at all, says the assistant over there. And it's a throw-in to Copenhagen in their own left-back position. Yes, I saw you at Manchester City the other night, Phil. You were sitting just down. In fact, you were sitting between us and the Spanish commentators, weren't you?
He was loud, that Spanish commentator, wasn't he?
Loud, wasn't he? Yes.
It was interesting, you know, there's no fans obviously inside the stadium. You get to hear what the managers are saying, the substitutes are saying, the communication between the bench. And it's the one thing that probably in the last month or two in since the restart that you've learnt so much about the intensity of the managers in terms of how they are actually on the sideline.
I thought you were going to say you learnt some more Spanish.
But what was interesting the other night was that the Man City backroom staff and the players, every time there was a decision, a throw-in or something happened, he got them all to jump up and try and create some atmosphere to spur on the team from the side. And the Real Madrid did the same.
Really good idea, very simple and good idea. Here's Bruno Fernandes for Manchester United. Rashford plays it through into the box. Brandon Williams is after it, but Zeka did well, just came across and blocked his progress and prevented him getting there. And it's a goal kick, and it's still Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. 5 Live Radio Manchester from the BBC. Just to remind you, if you have just switched on, if you've been out and about today on this warm evening in the UK, do remember that this is a one-off match now in this mini-tournament. All of the games, both in the Europa League and the Champions League, just the one match, so it could go to extra time and penalties. And FC Copenhagen, they've never been this far in a European competition before, and were they able to take it as long as possible? You never know how that might affect the nerves and the psychology of the Manchester United players, who are strong favourites. FC Copenhagen, big underdogs in this tie. Here's Maguire with the ball at the back, playing it across towards Fred, who is able to find the pass to Rashford. Rashford just takes it away from Biel and then hits a low skimming pass out towards the right hand side, and Wan-Bissaka in the red boots, hair tied up, uses Greenwood, back to Pogba. Pogba's ball to the edge of the area, that's cleared away by Bjelland on the edge of the FC Copenhagen penalty area. Bruno Fernandes now through the middle, and then Martial with the shot on the turn, that's blocked by Nelson, and then two players came together at the same time, Rashford and Steyer, and the Dane just able to get it away. And now the ball still in the Copenhagen right back area. Steyer turns Williams and will pass the ball away, and good play from Copenhagen. Falk now to Vint. The flick from Darami doesn't quite reach Vint, but Williams was just caught there, and Romero actually just blasts the ball straight out of play so that Williams can receive some treatment. He stayed down.
He was signalling there that he thought the centre forward stamped on his foot as he went down to play it. Just a clash. He did run back 30-40 yards after making a lung-busting run forward. It is hot in the stadium. Maybe his foot just got stuck in the turf a little bit. It's the first time in that half where Fernandes just in that final third played a pass through to Martial. His radar in the first half I thought was off. He looked a little bit rusty and sluggish in his passing.
52 minutes played over in Cologne. Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. And Williams is okay, he's back on his feet. We had a close-up picture of him, his face particularly red, but he is very fair-skinned. And Fred now playing the ball out towards the right hand side to Wan-Bissaka, who has a little look up, and then with Falk in front of him, Greenwood not able to take possession, and Copenhagen will play it away from the back. Zeka, the Greek international, and then Steyer on the edge of the box turns it, but just back to Manchester United, and Williams will give it to Fred, and Fred's ball through. Martial didn't run into the path of Bruno Fernandes, and Copenhagen were able to smuggle it out for a throw on the far side.
It was Fernandes again that was running through. This time it was Fred that was trying to play that ball through. We saw it in the first half. Runs through are going to cause problems, particularly between Nelson and Varela on this right hand side for Copenhagen, who do tend to ball watch.
Williams now to the edge of the area. Martial has found him some space inside the box. Martial lays it back to Bruno Fernandes. Square to Williams. Square again to Fred with a low shot which lacked power and was straight at goalkeeper Johnson, who was able to scoop it up between his legs.
That was timid from Fred. He prefers it on his left foot, but it was good play again into Martial. Sets it to the edge of the box from Brandon Williams and square pass to Fred. He just didn't quite hit it right.
Better from Manchester United, Darren?
Well, they're getting into the final third relatively easy, but they're trying to play through balls, but for me they're playing them too early. I'd like to see United work them side to side a little bit more and get those gaps bigger and then play the passes through. I think they'd be a lot more effective by doing that. I feel like they're getting into the final third and then it's the first pass they're trying to play a killer pass and they're almost getting in. If they get up there, play some quick passes, bounce it, move the Copenhagen players side to side, the gaps will become bigger, then those through balls will become a lot easier, and I fancy United to capitalise on that. They're just forcing it a little bit too much for me.
0-0. Another thing as well, FC Copenhagen are breaking it up quite effectively with lots of little fouls. Just saw Nelson on Martial there. Manchester United with Brandon Williams on the left hand side towards Bruno Fernandes. 3 United players on the edge of the box. Bruno Fernandes can't work the pass through, bounces back to Pogba. Now Wan-Bissaka. Falk comes across in front of him. Wan-Bissaka takes him on, crosses to the near post, but too close to goalkeeper Johnson, who's able to take it easily into his chest, and it's still 0-0.
No, again, it's that final cross, the final pass. You see Wan-Bissaka there, he didn't look up, there was nobody in the box. Martial hadn't made up the ground into the box, so come out and recycle the ball again. I think there's a degree of patience. When United get into the final third, I think Darren Fletcher was right, they're just rushing it a little bit too much. Maybe take the extra pass will give the team a little bit extra composure.
Manchester United, the ball inside their own half. Sure, it will be a little bit cooler than it was at kick-off, but still very, very warm. Rashford back to Fred, and then Fred back to Maguire behind him. Tomorrow night on 5 Live, Wolves Sevilla, and it will be Manchester United or Copenhagen against either Wolves or Sevilla in the semi-final. Rashford to Greenwood with a shot. It comes out back to Rashford off the post. Rashford puts it in, but he was in an offside position.
Well, we spoke about him being two-footed, Mason Greenwood. The one in the first half was rifled in with his right foot. This time it's with his left foot. Receives the ball just on the edge of the 18-yard box and just smashes it through the defender's legs into the bottom left-hand corner. Just hit the post and it rebounds to Rashford. He was obviously clearly offside.
So a second Manchester United goal is ruled out for offside. They're going to make a double change. Copenhagen, and coming on, Mikhail Kaufmann taking the place of Mohamed Darami up front, so that's teenager for teenager. As I say, he's struggled a little, big front man, the number 29. And the other change
is being substituted and replaced.
Biel's gone off.
Biel is replaced by, we'll find out in a sec, it was Oviedo, Brian Oviedo, who's coming on, the former Everton and Sunderland man, to play on the left hand side. So 3 changes made already now by Ståle Solbakken, the coach of FC Copenhagen, and it is still 0-0. United with the ball at the back in front of their own penalty area. Bailly is walking the ball out to Maguire, and Maguire passing it forward to Bruno Fernandes. Now back to Fred, and then through the middle again. Greenwood was put under pressure by Zeka and couldn't find the pass to Martial on the edge of the box, and then Bruno Fernandes foul stare, and it's a free kick to Copenhagen.
Well, again, it's the point that Darren Fletcher was making. When you receive it between the lines, don't force it. Greenwood just tries to force it through to the run of Rashford, just take the extra pass. Going back to the Copenhagen substitutions, I think they had to make a change, particularly up front. They weren't getting out, they're being pinned back by Manchester United. Just a little bit of fresh legs now, just might give them something in the game.
And Brian Oviedo, the Costa Rican. Bruno Fernandes playing the ball forward towards Greenwood. Well, the flag stayed down, might have been offside. In any case, Greenwood wasn't able to pull the ball down, and it bounced away through for a goal kick. But Brian Oviedo, who we all remember from Everton with the terrible injury problems that he had.
Well, he signed at Everton in my last season. He's a fantastic professional. He had to wait, he had to be patient with Leighton Baines there, but when he got his opportunity, He was fantastic. Then he suffered that horrendous injury and probably never really got back to the level that he wanted at Everton. That's why he went to Sunderland, and he's now at Copenhagen.
Yeah, it was the horrible leg break against Stevenage in the FA Cup that he suffered. So the double change, just freshening things up, as well as bringing on the new personnel and the experience of Oviedo at 30 years old now, the Costa Rican international. Rashford has charged down Varella's clearance, and United have got the ball on the left-hand side, infield towards Bruno Fernandes, feints on the edge of the penalty area, then the pass takes a little deflection which carries it behind for a Manchester United corner. It's still 0-0. Bruno Fernandes himself will take this. Ball bounces against the advertising hoardings. A number of photographers there with the long lenses, I can see, poking over the top, and Bruno Fernandes waiting to take this right-footed in-swinging corner. Here's the delivery into the edge of the 6-yard box. Nelson was underneath it for Copenhagen, headed further away on the edge of the box for Copenhagen, but just back to Manchester United. Fred, half an hour to play in this Europa League quarter-final that is still goalless. Inter are still leading Bayer Leverkusen by 2-1 in the other match tonight, and it is United with Bruno Fernandes, who curls one into Rashford, who's in space, and then mishits it down into the ground, and it's straight at the goalkeeper and an easy take.
Big chance for Rashford. Fernandes is now growing into the game. He's having an influence on the game. He's playing those passes again. It's the running behind Varela that's caused the problems. Rashford could have took a touch.
Here's Vint though, as Copenhagen come forward. Ball played towards the left hand side. Oviedo back to Vint with a shot across goal, but he rather scuffed it, and it was a routine save for Romero in the middle. And a yellow card is being shown by the referee to,
I think it's Harry Maguire.
Well, Maguire's closest to the referee.
Yeah, there was something off the ball when Oviedo went down the left hand side.
Yeah, there was a Copenhagen player went down on the edge of the box. It was the striker, Kaufmann, and the referee clearly feels that Maguire pulled him over. So it's a yellow card for the Manchester United captain, which is the first of the match.
It was a good spot from the referee. He just got the wrong side, Harry Maguire. Thought that Kaufmann was maybe going to be getting on the end of a cross from Brian Oviedo on that left hand side.
Mikhail Kaufmann is up front, but Falk bringing the ball forward. Here's Varela away from Williams, but the ball runs away from Varela through to Romero, and a couple of near openings for Copenhagen.
When the ball was played out to Varela, you said just nick it, and maybe Brandon Williams sliding in, you thought he's got a chance of getting a penalty here, Varela. Just overrun it.
Still 0-0. Philip Neville and Darren Fletcher watching with us here, 5 Live and Radio Manchester from the BBC. Pogba to the right hand side. Now Bruno Fernandes has a go for goal. Oh, it hits the post and comes back out across the penalty area, back towards where Bruno Fernandes hit it, and is out of play for a throw on the right hand side. A speculative effort, and it dipped viciously and hit the post and bounced out.
Well, it caught us all by surprise. I think because of the angle of where he was, just on that corner of the 18-yard line, and he just...
United again, Rashford to Fred. Fred's cross is over both Manchester United players in the box and is cleared away. And here is Vint, who's trying to win the free kick for with Bailly holding him off. And whether he caught him in the face, certainly that must be how the referee's seen it. It's a yellow card for Bailly now.
He turned really well, Vint, just on the counter-attack. Just went to the right-hand side of Eric Bailly, and he just put out an arm just to try and slow the momentum of the centre-forward.
I think he just sort of palmed him off.
Just caught him in the face, Eric Bailly.
So both Manchester United central defenders have been booked now in the space of the last few minutes. Still 0-0. Little shake of the head from Eric Bailly. See that the players have got both on their shirts, both thank you in English, in Manchester United's case, and tak in Danish in the Copenhagen shirts, presumably as a thank you for the key workers. Throwing for Manchester United, Bruno Fernandes, who's just recently hit the post with that dipping shot. United deep inside their own territory, and Mikhail Kaufmann putting himself about, and United trying to play it out from the back. Wan-Bissaka up to Bruno Fernandes, who drew the challenge from Steer, but Bjelland was able to step forward on the halfway line when the ball went past him. Still Copenhagen with it on the left-hand side. Here is Oviedo. Oviedo challenged by Wan-Bissaka, who puts the ball out for a throw to Copenhagen halfway up the left wing. It's going to be left behind him for Bengtsson to take. Bengtsson just wipes the sweat away from his brow and holds the ball above his head and throws it back towards the halfway line to Bjelland. Still waiting for the opening goal. Manchester United have had the ball in the net twice, both times ruled out for offside. First time Greenwood, second time Rashford, and also hit the post through Bruno Fernandes. But there have been enough warnings at the other end and semi-awkward moments for Manchester United's defence. Falk now bringing the ball forward and using Varela. Then back to Falk again on the edge of the box. He wriggles away from Fred, takes it towards the byline. A little flick, takes him round. Falk's ball across. Vint with a chance. He lays it square. Oviedo with a shot. That's hit by, who threw himself in front of it inside the 6-yard box. It was on target and Bailly blocked it. And now Oviedo again. Bailly again in with the challenge. Still Copenhagen putting pressure on Manchester United. Zeka. And then Bengtsson joins the attack. Oviedo again on the left-hand side. His cross hits Wan-Bissaka. He keeps it in, uses Bengtsson. Then Bengtsson back to Zeka. And Bengtsson manages to keep the ball and play it onto the head of Wan-Bissaka. And it bounces partially clear. Varela loses out to Rashford. And Manchester United should get it away. They do, with Rashford, who passes it forward right into the path of Bruno Fernandes at pace. He's got Martial to his left. Still Bruno Fernandes to the edge of the D, and then the final pass was awful, straight at Bengtsson.
Awful, did everything right. The pass from Rashford that just cut through the Copenhagen midfield. It was 3v3. He had Greenwood to his right and Martial to his left. He just had to slide Martial and Greenwood in. He chose Greenwood, but the execution of the pass was really poor. Sums up his night a little bit, Bruno Fernandes.
But at the other end, the chance that Copenhagen had?
Big chance. I don't know why Vint passed it really square to Oviedo. It was on, he was received it in the box, it was on his left foot. All he had to do really was hit the target. Big chance for Copenhagen.
It's bringing down Fletcher again.
What a bit of skill from Rasmus Falk. It reminded me of Fernando Redondo for Real Madrid against United years ago. He did a little flick on the byline and gone past Brandon Williams, and as Phil says, he picked out the striker fantastically. Why he doesn't take the shot, I don't know. United have got away with one there.
It was brilliant, wasn't it? Yeah, the little flick, the sort of back heel flick that took him past it to the byline. It was terrific. So they've shown there, you know, I mean, again, an important player, Rasmus Falk, who scored the third goal in the previous round in the second leg against Istanbul Başakşehir, which got them this far. And it's still 0-0, Manchester United with Williams. They've survived a couple of scares again, United, having hit the post themselves through Bruno Fernandes. Greenwood now to Wan-Bissaka on the right. We are almost 3/4 of the way through the 90 minutes now, still waiting for the opening goal, but you feel it might be getting closer. Bruno Fernandes goes for goal, pushed up in the air by goalkeeper Johnson, managed to clear the penalty area just about. Rashford took it down though. Williams square to Pogba. Pogba goes for goal, and that's a diving save down to his left. Lacked a bit of whip, Phil, and Johnson was able to take it quite easily.
Yeah, it was an easy save. Second one from Johnson. Again, it's a similar area to where he hit the post. This time just hits across the ball, slices it towards the keeper, made Johnson the keeper just scramble to his right hand side. Game's opened up a little bit.
Just a little, still 0-0, and Bruno Fernandes, the bearded Portuguese, carrying the ball at the right hand side, but 3 Copenhagen players in front of him. So goes back, then it finds its way to Pogba, flick from Martial, back to Pogba. The shot is blocked by the legs of Bjelland inside the penalty area this time. Now Williams. And then Fred up to the edge of the penalty area. Pogba allows it to go through his legs, but it was behind both Greenwood and Wan-Bissaka. But the ball's still with United on the right. Bruno Fernandes is away from Zeka. Bruno Fernandes then back towards Fred. Up to Pogba, gets a shove in the back as he passes it away from Steer. And Harry Maguire miscontrols it on the halfway line, but has plenty of time And Pogba, oh, that's awful from Pogba as well, just rather limply played it forward. Fred though puts a foot in to win it back, and Pogba now advancing towards the edge of the box. Pogba, 3 players around him. Pogba trying to find some space and then plays it across to Martial, but Falk into the challenge, and I think there must be someone injured because goalkeeper Johnson has just blasted the ball away downfield out of play.
Well, somebody's got the boot off, I think. But I think when they get to the edge of the box, United have struggled. Pogba and Fernandes in particular about playing that final pass because there's so many bodies in and around the United front three.
Time for Nemanja Matic and Lindelof as well, for that matter. So a double change for United, Darren.
Yeah, an interesting one really. You wouldn't expect Fred to come off for Matic when you need a goal, but obviously maybe something planned before the game. Nemanja Matic to get control. This might allow Pogba to go a little bit higher. He started to do that more recently. I think he senses Bruno Fernandes is looking a little bit tired. Paul Pogba looks like recently he's getting more forward, trying to create something happen, and he actually looks like United's most dangerous player in the last few minutes, so I think that's going to allude to that. Pogba's going to go up a little bit higher beside Bruno Fernandes and let Matic sit in midfield and control the game.
And Lindelof coming on for Eric Bailly, who hasn't seen a great deal of football over the course of recent weeks. Only 10 appearances since he's come back from the injury.
I think that's because he's on a yellow card. You don't want 2 of your centre-backs to be on a yellow card at this stage in the game. It's very, very risky in European football.
But he's played an important role in the second half. It was Bailly who was able to block the shot from Oviedo. So it's drinks break time. Still 0-0.
Yeah, and looking at the Copenhagen coach there, Solbakken, I think he would have been happy with the influence and the impact that his substitutions, Brian Oviedo and Kaufman, have had, because they've given him a little bit of energy. They had that big opportunity from the cross from the right hand side. They know they will have to dig in for this last 20 minutes because United will look to control the play. I just wonder whether Lindelof's been brought on because United will have a lot of the possession and he's probably better at it than Eric Bailly.
Just seeing that little flick from Falk again, which beat Williams. It really was. And in fact we're going to have another little replay of it now, so we should get a proper view of it here, Darren. He's taking it towards the dead ball line with his back heel, played it round one side of Williams, went round the other, and then centred it into the middle, and that could easily have ended as a Copenhagen goal.
It's exactly the same as Fernando Redondo. It's an unbelievable bit of skill. He's been impressive tonight, Falk. He's got great touches, he's elusive, he makes things happen, he's creative, and he's a dangerous player. He can make something out of nothing.
And actually we just saw a shot of Ståle Solbakken, the Norwegian coach of FC Copenhagen, who was sort of imitating it as he was sitting on his seat on the side of the pitch.
He must have taught him that one.
I tried to imitate a lot of things Ronaldo was doing, but it never happened, John.
Still 0-0. Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. It's his 602nd match as the coach of FC Copenhagen tonight, Ståle Solbakken, over the 2 spells that he's had. Wolves fans will remember him not terribly fondly for a not terribly successful little spell. He was actually at Cologne as well for a similar length of time before eventually going back to Copenhagen. But the remarkable thing that I was reminded of before this game was the fact that he had to retire from his playing career when he had a heart attack and was actually clinically dead for a period of time before they were able to revive him on the training pitch when he finished as a Copenhagen player. So from there he has built a very, very impressive body of work as a European coach. Ball played forward by Copenhagen towards the halfway line. Oviedo back to Bengtsson. So just less than 20 minutes to play now. There is the possibility, remember, this is a one-off tie if you've just joined us, not 2 legs, one-off quarter-finals in these mini tournaments, so it could go to extra time and penalties. Falk cuts inside, but on his right foot, plays it out to Oviedo on the left-hand side. Bengtsson's arriving, Oviedo still in possession, goes for goal, but hits the shot straight into Wan-Bissaka, and it bounces out for a throw over on the left-hand side. Oviedo himself has raced over to take. Leaves it for Bengtsson actually in the end. So Bengtsson waiting just about level with the edge of the United box where he takes the throw, and then it runs infield towards substitute Matic, who passes it forward to Rashford, who tried to win the free kick, was challenged by Varela. I'm not convinced it was, neither's the referee. Zeka has a look over his shoulder to see how Rashford is, and actually they're going to put the ball out of play.
I actually thought it was a good challenge from Varela. He's in there just holding the back of his leg there. Just hope it's not anything serious like a hamstring or anything. Stretching, maybe a little bit of cramp. So Varela goes in. Yes, he didn't win the ball. He kicked through the back of the ankles. Probably was a foul that the referee missed just there.
However, Rashford is okay, back on his feet in the centre circle. Seems to be walking quite easily. So it is still 0-0. Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. 5 Live and Radio Manchester from the BBC. 5 Live on air till 10:30 tonight to reflect on this before Jeff Lloyd takes over. Williams down the left is caught by Kaufmann, the substitute, and that's a yellow card, the first for FC Copenhagen.
It was a bad tackle that from Kaufmann, just tackling from behind. He goes to the ball, just tries to win the ball back for his team. It's a big period for Manchester United and for Ollie now. We just wonder whether Copenhagen have made some substitutions. It's hot. United haven't played that much football. I just wonder whether Ollie's thinking about a substitution, maybe one Mata, just to give a little bit of composure in the final third.
He's made the 2 changes so far, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of the permitted 5, here's Bruno Fernandes, but he's overhit that pass and it just runs away beyond Wan-Bissaka and out of play for a throw-in to FC Copenhagen. The Ståle Solbakken on his little chair will be very satisfied, I think, with the way that his team have handled this. To throw in, level with the edge of their own penalty area. Bengtsson to take it up the line over the top of Vint. Ball won by Lindelof, cleared away into the centre circle, and the assistant is flagging over on the far side, and Copenhagen have it at the back. Is that they spotted just something on Oviedo, and it's a free kick to Copenhagen. Even Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is perspiring on the bench. We've got a very moody close-up of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the moment. And then on to Ståle Solbakken all alone in his black chair. Here's Varela playing the ball aerially. Williams is underneath that. Copenhagen with Vint, and then Falk, and then Zeka to Oviedo. Bengtsson was actually slightly behind him, the pass back from Oviedo. Zeka plays it infield. Falk turns, still going. Falk using Varela on the right hand side. Varela with the cross towards the edge of the box, but Matic was underneath it and able to calmly play it away under no pressure from anyone in a white Copenhagen shirt. And Rashford now running forward with the ball, and he's cynically taken out by Stair on the halfway line, and that's an absolute cert of a yellow card.
Easy decision for the referee. It's going back to Copenhagen when they get into their final third. Falk's causing problems. He's just picking it up inside right, and Varela's providing the width, so Brandon Williams can't really go tight to anyone. He's stuck in no man's land, and Falk is the one that they need on the ball when they're attacking Copenhagen.
Still 0-0. We're in the last 15 minutes now, and the prospect of extra time is increasing. Wan-Bissaka, the ball on the right hand side. Manchester United would have been confident of getting the job done in normal time, but they've been obdurate opponents, Copenhagen. But here is Bruno Fernandes, then Rashford. Martial tried to give it back, looked as though it might have struck a hand of Rashford, but Pogba now on the edge of the penalty area, but 2 lines of players in white shirts excellently marshalled the Copenhagen defence. United trying to find a way through. Greenwood now to Wan-Bissaka on the right. Wan-Bissaka up against Oviedo and Bengtsson. Wan-Bissaka into Pogba, tried to flick it into the box, bounced off Zeka, and Wan-Bissaka couldn't get there, and Oviedo was there first easily. Bengtsson then left-footed clears it up towards the halfway line where Kaufmann is unable to get anywhere near it, and Manchester United can start the game at the back. Maguire using Matic, Nemanja Matic to his right, to one of the other subs, Lindelof. Now Wan-Bissaka has a little bit of space in front of him. Wan-Bissaka plays it in, but plays it straight at Stair, and actually United will be fortunate if this goes out for a corner. No, it was just kept in by Bengtsson and put out for a throw.
Well, you think in the last 12 minutes now it is going to be all United, almost like an attack v defence. Copenhagen have dropped back 2 banks of 4. The 2 centre forwards have dropped in as well. So obviously thought they've just got to hang in for the next 12 minutes, try and take the game a little bit further than that. But United now have got to keep the ball moving really fast, not allow Copenhagen to get set in their positions.
An indication there of how hot it must be over in Cologne, you know, when the ball was out of play. The number of Copenhagen players who stopped, leaned forward and put their hands on their knees. So the prospect of extra time in these conditions, this could be there's an element of the survival of the fittest to this. Meanwhile here, you got the air conditioning put on at half time, so it's actually quite nippy. Pogba playing it forward towards Bruno Fernandes, but Bruno Fernandes' pass just dribbles out of play for a throw-in that Bengtsson can take halfway inside his own half. I'd imagine you might be a little bit cold in those shorts, Phil.
Are you hinting that you want the air conditioning off? Is that what you're saying?
Producer Gary's gone up and he's gone over and switched it off. Well done. Yeah, you weren't dressed like that the other night at the Etihad. You were in your best bib and tucker.
In the wedding suit the other night,
You
John.
were.
On official duty.
Yes. Ball's out for a throw on the halfway line. 10 minutes to go. FC Copenhagen hanging on in there against Manchester United in their first European quarter-final. Manchester United attempting to reach their 3rd semi-final of the season after the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, which both ended in defeat. Ball played forward for Copenhagen. Wan-Bissaka, Vint put in the challenge. Zeka, he's very quietly, efficiently the captain, the number 10, Zeka, the Greek international. Here's Varela on the right-hand side, chested it down. Falk, who is a real worker. Back to Varela. Varela into the box, plays it behind Williams. Went down, 1 or 2 appeals from Copenhagen. Big shouts we can hear from the Copenhagen contingent off the pitch. But referee Turpan is not interested in the slightest in that.
It was one of those, you saw with Varela, he was obviously looking for it, but Brandon Williams was running as fast as he could, couldn't put the brakes on, so was committed to the challenge. Copenhagen still look fit, they still look like they're not going to give in, they desperately want to go through in this tie.
Here's Martial now near the centre circle, plays it to Greenwood on the right hand side. Mason Greenwood back onto his left foot. Greenwood's ball in, diving header away by Nelson, ball headed forward by Lindelof, but only back to Copenhagen. But Kaufman can't reach that, and it's out of play for a throw to United inside their own half. Just having another look at the appeal for a penalty by Varela, who was looking for it very much.
And so was the Copenhagen manager. He chopped back inside Brandon Williams, but he should have stayed on his feet rather than go down theatrically. It was a good decision by the referee.
Still 0-0. Pogba just to the right of the centre circle. Matic is able to work it to Bruno Fernandes, and now Brandon Williams on the left hand side. Rashford has come short. Rashford is going to have a goal, but it just flies away over the top of the bar. Johnson, the goalkeeper, knew it wasn't going to threaten him. Goal kick.
Yeah, that's frustration. They haven't really created that many chances. You think of a couple of shots from Fernandes, skied over the bar, one from Pogba and then one from Rashford, but apart from that I don't think they've created that many clear-cut chances where the keepers had to make real good saves.
And so we have 7.5 minutes plus added time, and it's still 0-0. Inter are still 2-1 up on Bayer Leverkusen in the other quarter-final tonight in Dusseldorf. And tomorrow night, Wolves Sevilla. Ian Dennis and Pat Nevin will be in these seats, and comfortable seats they are as well. Lovely high-backed black chairs, like something out of Mastermind. And you'll hear that on 5 Live tomorrow evening. Here's Lindelof, then to Maguire, right-footed and forward. The ball bounces all the way to Williams on the left-hand side. Williams just couldn't have enough on the pass, but it's bounced to Martial, who's going to go for goal, and what a save that is by Johnson, diving to his left and saving it, if you like, with his wrong hand and pushing it wide, and the moment there saved it with his right hand as he dived to his left and clawed it around the post.
Oh, brilliant from Martial, cutting in off this left hand side. He does like this side and then bending it into the top left hand corner. Johnson makes a fantastic save.
Corner, Bruno Fernandes to the near post. It's bouncing around and it's bounced off Vint and Vint is able to race after it and then pass it forward out of play near the halfway line for a throw-in to Manchester United. But Martial, with that shot, it's something like that Manchester United are looking for now. A moment of brilliance like that would take them through.
Well, they've got the players on the pitch to produce big moments. Again, it's another long shot from outside the box. So Copenhagen have done really well, defended the edge of the box really well.
Long one from the back from Maguire, but beyond Rashford, and will bounce through to goalkeeper Johnson. Darren Fletcher, decent save there.
That's a great save actually. Anthony Martial's been really quiet this second half. He's hardly been involved in the game. United have forced things. They haven't really got it up to him and let him get a hold of it and bounce thing off him, but something out of nothing there. A great strike with his right foot and the goalkeeper makes a fantastic save. But again, United keep forcing it. They have to dominate the game in Copenhagen's half. Keep possession, keep working them side to side. I said it earlier and they just haven't done it, and they've allowed it to be easy for Copenhagen.
And you two must have been involved in so many matches like this. There's Manchester United players, you're expected to win matches like this. It comes down to the last 5 minutes or so.
It does, and I think we always used to have a saying that, you know, you could win it 2-3 minutes to go. If you keep possession for so long, work the ball side to side, you can tire teams out and you'll get big opportunities in the last 10 minutes.
Well, it's Copenhagen looking for an opportunity here with the dangerous Falk towards the edge of the area with his right foot, lays it back, but Vint just outside the D, skies the shot, leans back and sends it wide and high.
Poor from Vint. It just set nicely from him from Falk, who again goes past Matic, lays it off to Vint just on the edge of the box, who looks to bend it with the outside of his right foot.
I think there's been a lot of focus on Vint, certainly in the Danish media and wider as well. As I say, very highly thought of, and come into this game, and tonight he's not really been able to deliver for Copenhagen. But it's not over yet. Ball's played forward by Pogba, still 0-0. Rashford absolutely sprinting full pace, trying to keep this in, which he does, but then he slips off the pitch and ends up on his knees. I think he's okay. And he is back to his feet, he's alright. And we are now 4 minutes away from the 90-minute mark, and it's still 0-0. Ball with FC Copenhagen. Just seen a shot of Falk running with his long hair. It's almost like he was in the shower with the beads of sweat that were pouring off him as he waggled his head from side to side. Maguire. Williams being put under pressure by Falk, plays the ball back to Lindelof, allows it to run across him, and then Wan-Bissaka, and then Pogba comes short. Pogba, one challenge from Zika, he just brushed off, and then plays it forward, Pogba, to Bruno Fernandes, who backs away, crosses the halfway line, uses Rashford on the left hand side. Rashford running at Varela, Steer comes across, still Rashford square, Bruno Fernandes just outside the D, but just dwelt on the ball before he shot, and Nelson was able to come and close it down at source as he hit the ball, and Copenhagen had it back.
No, it was too slow there, Fernandes. Rashford had drawn centre midfield player Zeka out of the middle. He just squared it to Fernandes. You think, take a touch and shoot, or even passing Greenwood on that right hand side. He just took a touch and then delayed his shot. I think he's been off it tonight, Fernandes.
0-0, and a throw in for Copenhagen after Brandon Williams slid in on Varela, who is going to take the throw. Williams gets up above Vint to head it down. Matic has 3 Copenhagen players around him, but is able to find the pass back to Maguire. Maguire back to Matic again. Matic tall and upright. The ball to Rashford. With Falk so close, he goes back into his own half. 2 minutes of the 90 to play. It's still 0-0 in this quarter-final. Wan-Bissaka, the floodlights beginning to take effect now, as Pogba to the right hand side to Greenwood, stretches for it, that took the ball away from him, but Bengtsson couldn't get there. Back to Pogba now, angle pass, little one to Martial, who works it through to Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka drives it right across, hit it really, just blasted it across the 6-yard box, and no one in a red shirt could get anywhere near it. It's out for a throw.
No, he just blasted it. He hadn't even looked into the middle to see where Martial and Rashford was out on the left side, hadn't made the run. He could have took a touch there, or maybe just chipped it back to the penalty spot where Martial was.
That there, Darren, that's an area there that certainly Wan-Bissaka can look to improve when he's in that sort of position.
No, without a doubt. I think his defensive qualities are there for everyone to see, but that's the one area that United do have to improve on both sides, actually, that attacking threat from full-backs, because they've got their inside forwards who like to come inside, so there's plenty of space for him there. Wan-Bissaka's got to realise that it's Martial that's flicked the ball to him, so Martial's not in the middle, so he's got to recognise his striker's not there, so you can't just flash it across. You've got to get your head up, as Phil says, and try and pick someone out sometimes.
Looks like it might be extra time over in Cologne tonight. 0-0 the score, and United going close with the shot from Bruno Fernandes that hit the post, that sort of snap shot, the dipping shot that from near the corner of the box, which would, if it had gone in, been a thrilling goal. And Johnson making the diving save spectacularly from the Martial shot. But Copenhagen have had a couple of opportunities at the other end as well, not least Oviedo when his effort was blocked when Bai threw himself in front of it. Here's Matic, though, as the challenge came in from Zeka, when he pass it beyond anyone in a red shirt, comes back into the United half. Maguire back to Lindelof offers it to Matic and then gives it to him. 3 minutes of added time, that's all we're going to have at the end of the 90 minutes, despite the substitutions. Pogba on the halfway line, thought about the long pass, instead went short-ish to Martial. Now here is Wan-Bissaka on the right. Wan-Bissaka with Pogba behind him. Then Martial. If a winner is going to come now, it'll be an added time. Martial, oh, what a run! What a run from Martial! Nelson, though, puts in the challenge, and a good challenge it was as well. Stop the ball, stop Martial in his tracks, and Copenhagen clear.
That was a brilliant defending from Nelson. As Martial had gone past 2 or 3 players, he'd picked it up outside the box, got past Steyer in midfield, then took on the left back, then the other centre back. It was Nelson that just went in with both feet, went to ground, had to win the ball. The minute that he went to ground, he had to, and he won the ball. Fantastic from the defender, nearly brilliant from Martial.
Yep, as he stayed down, it is Nelson who stayed down, and he might have hurt himself in that last ditch challenge. The number 25 Danish under 21 international, he is still 21. The word is that there is some interest in him as well, the right-sided central defender, and this match will have been watched, I'm sure, all over Europe, all over the world, so he'll have done himself no harm at all. He's on his feet, looks okay, and we've already had 90 seconds and more of the 3 minutes of added time. Extra time not far away, and the players during that stoppage were across getting water bottles. Pogba took a bottle and poured it over his head. Rashford did likewise. The ball at the back with FC Copenhagen, cleared by goalkeeper Johnson. Such an important save from him, from Martial, to keep it at 0-0. Falk, perhaps the last attack for Copenhagen. Falk away from Williams, plays it across towards Vint. Now back to Steyer back to Falk. Varela arrives on the right hand side. Copenhagen have men in the middle. Varela, little ball low to the edge of the box, that's cleared away by Maguire. Now again, Falk has a look up, the ball at his feet, works it across to Steyer. He's on his left foot, he's going to have a goal, but the ball flies away over the top of the left corner as he looked at it onto the black canvas behind the goal.
Well, that's probably the last opportunity in the 90 minutes that Copenhagen will have. They worked it well. Falk again was involved. Everything good about them attacking wise. He's involved. They got it to the central area. Steyer, the captain, just hit it over the bar.
So 0-0 it is, and the whistle will go very soon. Only 15 seconds to play. Maybe time for one last attack from FC Copenhagen. Benson takes the ball down, but turns and plays it back towards the halfway line, and Copenhagen will actually go all the way back towards their goalkeeper. I think that is going to be it. So in their first European quarter-final, FC Copenhagen have taken Manchester United to extra time after a 0-0 draw. Philip Neville.
Well, it was an even game. There wasn't too many clear-cut chances. Probably United shaded with a couple of long-range shots from Bruno Fernandes, but I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be demanding more to get anything out of this game, because Copenhagen have defended really well, and on the counter-attack through Falkirk, they've looked really, really dangerous.
So more to come from the match over in Cologne, but at the end of the regulation 90 minutes, Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0. Yeah, I didn't need another one. Yeah, that's okay, thank you very much. Please, thanks for your concern. The news is, Darren, you talk about whether he would make a change and take off one of the three. It's Greenwood. Greenwood's coming off and Mata's coming on.
Yeah, it's surprising because Mason seems to be the one that can get a goal out of nothing. Marcus has held his hamstring. Anthony Martial looked like he was carrying. The one person who did look lively throughout and looked fresh was Mason Greenwood, so that's an interesting one, because he can score out with nothing. But Juan Mata's will create something. He's got a goal in him, he's got fresh legs now, and I wouldn't be surprised if it came from Juan Mata now in extra time, just because everyone else is exhausted.
Yeah, Phil, Solskjaer just looking for a bit of craft then perhaps from Mata.
Yeah, well, you look at the Copenhagen, 2 banks of 4, they found it really difficult, United, to find that little pass through, and now with Fernandes, Mata and Pogba on, you've got extra little bit of guile and composure with Juan Mata off this right hand side. United still need to provide with, that'll have to come from the full-backs.
So Greenwood off, having had the ball in the net in the first half, but was offside when the ball was played through to him, and indeed had a shot that hit the post in the second half that was put in the net by the offside Rashford. So as a result, still Manchester United 0, FC Copenhagen 0, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has made his 3rd change. Now we've reached extra time, that means another substitution is allowed. So here come Copenhagen. They've not made any further changes. Ståle Solbakken has also made 3 so far. But this first Copenhagen attack of the second half comes to nothing, and Sergio Romero, the Manchester United goalkeeper, is able to come out and pick it up to the left of his penalty area. So this is 5 Live. Radio Manchester are with us as well from the BBC. Mata with his first touch. He's won the Europa League twice, both as a Manchester United player and as a Chelsea player before that, as well as the Champions League as well, of course. Here's Matic playing the ball diagonally to Mata, little touch from him. Then Martial, Rashford left side of the box to Martial, the angle's very tight, Martial still going and stabbed it goalwards, and goalkeeper Johnson was standing up at his near post, and it effectively was blocked by his right leg behind the near post for a corner.
Oh, it was brilliant interchange, combination play between Rashford, just plays it into the path of Martial, goes past the centre-back Nelson, who gets back and he just tries to pole kick past the keeper Johnson. Them two are really lively.
Corner taken short, Williams back to corner taker Bruno Fernandes, he lifts it into the penalty area. Pogba tried to get up, well he couldn't get up because Nelson was climbing on him, but the ball is cleared away out for a throw-in to Manchester United. 0-0 early in extra time. Could be penalties tonight. If you're not familiar, if you've just switched on to us, if you're on your way home on a sweaty evening, it has to be decided this evening, this quarter-final. Martial takes the ball down just outside the box. Rashford is there, but his pass was misplaced, but it has run for him, and Rashford is able just to steer it with his right boot back to Captain Maguire. Now Lindelof, who came on in the second half for Eric Bailly. Wan-Bissaka wins a throw-in down the right-hand side. Lindelof's going to take it, no messing about, straight back to Mata, and Juan Mata at the age of 32 now. A little wriggle from him on the half line to take it away from Kaufman, and then Mata with the ball through to Martial, who beats Nelson and is in, but the goalkeeper comes and blocks it with his legs, and it's headed away by Steyer. Martial stays down, still United. Now into Mata, back to Martial, who's challenged by Bjelland. It's a penalty. The referee says that Bjelland came across and fouled Martial. He tells the Copenhagen players to keep away from him, but it is a penalty to Manchester United in the 4th minute of extra time.
Oh, it's brilliant from Juan Mata. The pass through literally 10 seconds ago was fantastic. Martial should have scored. Then the composure in the box, that's what we were on about. Composure to receive it in the box. Just slides it into Tony Martial, and he just gets fouled in the box. But it's all about Juan Mata. Slides it through. There's a call for offside. I think he's onside. There's definitely a foul from Copenhagen defender.
Just a clumsy challenge from Bjelland, wasn't it? Just Martial, I think, also knew that he was coming. The penalty is going to be looked at by VAR, so we'll have a little pause. Let's bring in Darren Fletcher again. Darren.
I think it's a penalty. The defender realises that he's the wrong side of Martial and he makes a clumsy challenge. He panics. Juan Mata's involved. He's been sharp since he came on. He's only been on for 4 minutes, but he's been involved in two things, and he's going to create the chance for Martial, which has resulted in a penalty.
Yeah, penalty is confirmed. Manchester United's 21st penalty of the season in all competitions. This man, Bruno Fernandes, has already scored 6 penalties for Manchester United. Here he is to open the scoring in the quarter-final, right-footed, and he beats the goalkeeper's dive to his right. And finally, the opening goal of this quarter-final has come for Manchester United from the penalty spot, from Bruno Fernandes, and United lead FC Copenhagen by 1-0.
No doubt. He's a brilliant penalty taker, Bruno Fernandes. He's got different styles. Sometimes he slows down. I'm just watching a replay. He does go down easily. Anthony Martial, the centre-back's not happy, but Fernandes rifles it to the keeper's right-hand side. Gives him no chance. He went the right way, the keeper. But his penalty style and technique is fantastic.
Definitely a penalty, Darren?
He is the wrong side. Anthony Martial does make a meal of it. The defender's not happy with it. I think he just gets enough contact and Anthony Martial goes down. But what a penalty. The focus before he takes it, the concentration. The goalkeeper actually goes early and to the right side, but the sheer clinical power of Fernandes' penalty takes into the back of the net.
So 1-0 Manchester United lead FC Copenhagen. Bruno Fernandes with his 11th goal since joining Manchester United in January, having already scored 15 for Sporting this season. So that's not a bad return, is it? 26 goals from midfield for the two clubs, and he is the leading scorer on his own now in the Europa League this season. And Manchester United with their noses in front. That's absolutely crucial for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side. And FC Copenhagen will have to gamble at some stage.
No, they will. I think he'll probably wait till the second half of extra time. Just going back to Bruno Fernandes, we said before it probably hasn't been his best night in terms of quality, but he's hit the post, he's made the keeper make a save, and he's scored the penalty. I mean, just in the stat there, 7 goals in 9 games in the Europa League. That's a fantastic return. That's the impact that he's had at Manchester United.
Yeah, 5 of them for Sporting and then 2 on the run for Manchester United. But you're right, Phil, he's got such a variation in his penalties as well. Ball played forward from Pogba to Rashford, who's after it, but it will bounce through to Johnson. Yeah, that keeps the goalkeepers guessing.
It does. I mean, sometimes he goes up to it and just waits for the keeper to make the move, and then he just slots it to either side, and that one was rifled in. I actually prefer that one than the one where he waits for the keeper. There's no doubt that the power's going to beat the keeper.
Yeah. I quite like the gallop.
Just on that one, we know that goalkeepers do a lot of homework on penalty takers. Is he doing his homework on the goalkeepers and seeing what sort of penalties they don't like, or did they go early or did they go late, and does he change his style for that? It's very effective when a player can take a number of different penalty styles. Well spotted, Phil.
That would be a turn up, wouldn't it, if you have the scenario whereby the goalkeeper has it written on the bottle or whatever they do. If the penalty taker then produces a piece of paper, then that would get the goalkeepers thinking. But United in front, leading by 1-0. Antonio Conte's Inter are through. They're beaten by Leverkusen by 2-1 in the other quarter-final tonight in Dusseldorf. Romelu Lukaku scoring one of the goals, the former Manchester United man. They could all meet at some point this season. Sanchez was on the bench for Inter tonight. Ashley Young in the team as well. Here's Martial carrying the ball forward into the penalty area, past Nelson, past Bjelland, still going, carries it wide, back heels it to Mata. Lovely footwork from Mata, blocked by the goalkeeper, headed goalwards by Bruno Fernandes, and it just lands in the arms of the recovering Johnson.
That was brilliant from Martial. He had a similar run to that in the second half, where he just danced through people, stuck it through somebody's legs. It's just a finish really that he has to work on.
It's unbelievable when he turns it on like that. He's so effective and dangerous and makes things happen. As he said, he's been unlucky now. The goalkeeper's actually made some great saves from him in the last ditch challenge, and Juan Mata was unlucky with the follow-up. United looked like they could score a few here. Copenhagen legs have gone. That goal sort of sucked the wind out of them, and I think United could go on and kill the game here if they're ruthless.
Yeah, Copenhagen needed to, in extra time, they needed to take the lead. Instead it was United. I think in the 5th minute of extra time the penalty was scored by Bruno Fernandes. It was. Thumbs up from producer Gary. Here's Nelson, who has got the ball halfway inside his own half. Bjelland, who will feel hard done to that the penalty was given against him. VAR did have a look at it and confirmed the decision of Clément Turpin, the French referee. Andreas Bjelland, who was once Brentford's club record signing. Ball played through to Rashford. Rashford takes it on, but another one-on-one save by Johnson. And whether the offside flag will come there, the offside decision or not, I'm not sure. As Rashford made the run, yeah, he was significantly offside. I think everyone knew it.
Yeah, it was clear offside. The keeper again has made an incredible save. Must have made 4 or 5 brilliant saves tonight, Johnson. He's kept his team in it, really. At this moment in time, you can't see where Copenhagen are going to get a goal from. They look absolutely shattered.
They do. And I don't think, when listeners have been sending in messages about performances, etc., I think you have to really take into account. I mean, we're not there, so it's difficult to tell, but you can tell from the red faces and the perspiration what a warm night it must be over there in Germany and Cologne. Here is Oviedo on the left-hand side. He had a chance late on in normal time to give Copenhagen the lead. Mata, who came on and provided the ball through that actually led in the build-up towards the Manchester United penalty. Juan Mata. Copenhagen clearing Bjelland, though. It's charged down by Wan-Bissaka. He then holds off Wan-Bissaka, and then Bjelland is able to roll it across to goalkeeper Johnson, who clears. A little heavy of a challenge by Kaufmann on Pogba. No free kick. Steyer for Copenhagen in the centre circle. Steyer just drifts to his right to take it away from Pogba. Uses Vint. Varela now down the right. But Copenhagen need a little more zip than this. Up it goes to Kaufmann, but the ball bounces away off him, and Lindelof is able to say thank you very much and take it away. Kaufmann, however, puts in the challenge on Lindelof before he cleared it, and Copenhagen have got it back. Less than 4 minutes to play in the first period of extra time, and still Copenhagen with the ball with Vint, but he can't get past Williams and then leans into the Manchester United left back and concedes the free kick. Yeah, the latest from the weather in Cologne is that at 11 o'clock at night, 28 degrees with 51% humidity. That is tough.
It's the humidity that is really difficult for a football. The air that you breathe, it's really close. We're just watching Bruno Fernandes, utter concentration the way he goes, takes his penalties, and he just whips it into the bottom left-hand corner. Juan Mata's made a big difference. Came on, give the team a little bit of composure. Good substitution from Ole just on extra time.
So it is 1-0 Manchester United lead against FC Copenhagen, runners-up in the Danish league this season. Clearance by Johnson. Comes out for Manchester United. Pogba. Little ball forward towards substitute Mata. And now Wan-Bissaka. And again Mata. Back to the halfway line, Manchester United. This will be where United, very well versed in this sort of situation, will look to make life difficult. But Matic actually is carrying the ball forward, and he's taking it a long way, and he gives it to Martial, who pulls it across to Mata with a left foot scooped shot that he lifted over the crossbar by a few yards.
There's goals here for United. Copenhagen have gone. You see the way that the ease in which United are just going past them in central midfield.
I was just about to say, Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford have got a spring in their step now. I feel like they sense there's goals there, and I like to see that. That's what they want, ruthless goal scorers adding to their goal tally.
Yeah, their little contest. Martial just edging it at the moment, 23 to 22. Both of them the best scoring season of their careers. Here, but it's Bruno Fernandes who scored the goal tonight from the penalty spot, won by Martial. Ball back for Copenhagen to the halfway line. Nelson, now Falk again, sets off on yet another run infield from the right hand side, but his pass forward is read by Maguire, who gives it to Rashford, and Rashford is going to have a run at the Copenhagen defence. He's already halfway inside their half, and then plays it across to Bruno Fernandes on the edge of the area, who gives it back to Mata, who is challenged by Zeka in the box. but no penalty and no appeals by United either. Bruno Fernandes plays it in again, a flick by Mata, takes it off Nelson, back to the goalkeeper.
That was a good counter-attack. Rashford went down the left-hand side, saw that there was no real avenue down there, cut inside and saw Fernandes out on the right-hand side.
Oh, Steyer has actually gone down. It was cramped just on his own. There was no United player anywhere near him. He just played the ball across and he's absolutely poleaxed by cramp.
There's a few players going down with cramp and stretching. Humidity is really difficult with the heat as well, as we see Varela going off for Copenhagen.
Yeah, the Croatian international Carlo Bartolets is going to come on to replace the Uruguayan, the former Manchester United youngster Guillermo Varela, who I think just ran out of legs as much as anything else in the heat. And a second change just now as well. Steyer, who was the player who went down with cramp, is replaced like for like by another Croat, Robert Mudrazaja. So a double change by Stala Solbakken. So 2 minutes of added time at the end of the first period of extra time, during which time Manchester United scored the first goal of the quarter-final. Winners will play Wolves or Sevilla, who meet tomorrow night in the match in Duisburg. We'll have commentary on that. Ian Dennis and Pat Nevin will be here in these seats, bringing a commentary on 5 Live tomorrow night. 5 Live and Radio Manchester later programmes will obviously be delayed. Jeff Lloyd due to take over at 10:30 on 5 Live. Be a few minutes late, I would imagine, by the time we get there. Oviedo for FC Copenhagen. Copenhagen equaliser. It could yet go to penalties. Here's Nelson in added time at the end of the first period of extra time. Jonas Vint plays the ball forward, but Williams was able to adjust, get himself into position. And now Bruno Fernandes will play a ball down the line for Rashford to run onto. Martial making ground through the middle. Rashford against Nelson. Still Rashford to the edge of the box, then cuts back. Nelson gets a foot in and is able to clear it away. It rolls out of play for a throw into Manchester United. The clapping hands there of goal scorer Bruno Fernandes. Williams walks forward, picks the ball up off the pitch, and will take the throw for Manchester United. Gets it back and plays it back to Maguire. Harry Maguire through to another semi-final. As I say, he's lost the 2 semi-finals with United this season. Also lost in the World Cup semi-final and the Nations League semi-final last season. He'll be thinking it's about time his luck turned. Pogba carrying the ball forward for Manchester United. Across it comes to Mata. Mata back to Pogba, who allowed it to run, and then Bruno Fernandes with the shot, which is really well saved again by Johnson, who leapt to his left and pushed it over the bar at pace.
It's an incredible save. Johnson again, he's been Copenhagen's best player.
And a yellow card shown, I think, for the foul on Pogba on the edge of the box. Zeka, the captain.
Juan Mata here on this right hand side. He had Wan-Bissaka overlapping. I thought he made the wrong option, playing it square.
Actually, that was
by Pogba, right?
yeah. I'm not sure it was Zeka who could have been yellow carded for that.
It was.
Corner for Manchester United. In added time at the end of the first period of extra time. In it goes. It takes a flick off Copenhagen head. Shot by Mata. It comes out. The shot is dragged wide by Lindelof. And a chance there not taken by Lindelof, which would have surely finished it at 2-0. Half-time whistle goes in extra time, and it is 1-0. So half-time and extra time, Manchester United 1, FC Copenhagen 0. Right. We're underway for the second period of extra time. Immediately there's a stoppage because Falk has gone down with a bit of cramp. Have you got a bit of cramp?
Phil has got cramp as well.
Since the air conditioning went off, it's gone up to 33 degrees humidity in this room.
Oh, I quite like it. Falk's okay. He's back on his feet. Manchester United leading Copenhagen by 1-0. But here is Bartolets on the right hand side, swinging the ball in. Maguire is able to clear it away. Well, without question, that first period of extra time was Manchester United's best period of the quarter-final. Chance after chance, save after save by Johnson, which all came off the back of the penalty that swung it Manchester United's way, decisively Manchester United's way. But it is still only 1-0, and Copenhagen have got a corner. And Bengtsson, the left back, is going to take this. So an in-swinger steps away up against the hoardings, and in comes the corner into the 6-yard box, and it's headed away by Maguire. Back towards corner taker Bengtsson, who gets it down, swings it in again dangerously, but Maguire's underneath that as well for Manchester United. Headed forward by Bartlett. Rashford comes across. He's going to try and shepherd it out. He has shepherded it out for a throw-in to Manchester United. So Manchester United, with this scoreline, would be up against either Wolves or Sevilla. Could be an all-Premier League and all-English semi-final. Manchester United were last involved in one of those in 2009 in the Champions League against Arsenal. You'll remember that, you too, no doubt, when they won through United to the final in Rome against Barcelona. Here United, with Pogba, is fouled by Mudrazaya, and it's a free kick to Manchester United that Pogba dummies to take, but leaves it for Matic.
Cheers for bringing that up, John. I got red carded and missed the final.
Well, I said you'd remember it, but time's a great healer, isn't it?
He played well though, Fletch.
Thanks, Phil.
The ball with United, with Wan-Bissaka, back to Lindelof, and the ball goes back to Romero on the edge of the box. Romero's long ball downfield. Bjelland is underneath that, the unfortunate Bjelland, who conceded the penalty. There'll be a bit of talk about that, I'm sure, amongst the FC Copenhagen supporters, about whether it should have been given. And Bruno Fernandes, who scored from the resulting spot kick. Matic turns, gives the ball to the right-hand side to Wan-Bissaka. So Martial receives it, puts his foot on the ball. Zeka's got a bit of cramp as well, I notice as well, just hobbling away from the challenge with Martial. Then Williams forward towards Bruno Fernandes, now up towards the edge of the penalty area. Martial, Rashford, Manchester United doing what any team should do in these circumstances against tiring opponents, just knocking it about, Phil, trying to make them work.
Well, that's all they have to do. I saw Michael Carrick just shouting on to them, just keep possession of the ball, keep Copenhagen moving. You see 3 or 4 of the players have gone down with cramp. Just wait for the moment where they pick up the ball, Martial, Rashford or Mata in behind the midfield, and then they can go and try and get that second goal and kill the game.
United still with it, and Rashford has got away from the challenge of Bartlett, but he just checks back onto the ball in the full-back position. Just waits for support. It comes from Matic, who's driving towards the penalty area. The ball deflects slightly behind Mata. Rashford, Martial on the edge of the penalty area. Mata looks for a 1-2 from Matic, but he puts his foot on the ball. Rashford's got a little bit of space on the left-hand side, so Matic uses him. And now Williams infield to Pogba, who just dragged it away from Kaufmann. And most of the Manchester United players, I think, have had a touch since Copenhagen had a meaningful one. 1-0 Manchester United lead. All the way back with Maguire now on the halfway line. Now Matic forward towards Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes through for Martial, who was stretching but couldn't get a touch, and it ran all the way through to goalkeeper Johnson.
Well, he's desperate for a goal, Anthony Martial. He deserves one, particularly in the last 30 minutes. He's been absolutely fantastic. We're just looking at an instant where May just flicked up from a pass square on the edge of the box onto Lindelof. He may have been just on the edge of the box there.
I think he was just outside the penalty area, but it was very close. That would have been very, very careless. Still 1-0 to Manchester United. Bengtsson, Zeka now, high ball into the penalty area. Maguire's underneath that as well and heads it out to comparative safety. Rashford plays it back to Williams, and then back in field towards Maguire, who curls the ball forward but over Rashford, and actually bounces on the line and stays in play. No, it doesn't. It was out for a throw. Another change for Copenhagen, and they're going to take off Falk, who has certainly played his part and I think has effectively run himself out, Rasmus Falk, and he's going to be replaced by a 17-year-old William Bøving, who's a Danish youth international. He's only had 5 minutes previously for the first team, and as we see a shot of him, he does indeed look like a 17-year-old. So he is going to come on. What a great moment for him. The number 42 for Copenhagen. Great piece of experience for him. And Copenhagen in possession, even though they're 1-0 down. If they could force this to penalties, with players all over the Copenhagen team seemingly suffering from cramp, it would be quite an effort. Here's Bartolet bringing it forward, one of the fresher players. Williams takes a touch inside the penalty area. Bøving puts in the challenge on him, and it's a foul. That's his first contribution, and it's a free kick to Manchester United. And a further change for United. Jesse Lingard is going to come on for Marcus Rashford. You mentioned Darren, he's had a little bit of cramp, hasn't he? Or at least certainly was feeling his thigh muscle.
Yeah, just a couple of minutes ago there he passed one. He went on a dribble, then turned back and passed it back and went down and stretched his hamstring. So I think a sensible decision. He did come to life in extra time looking for a goal, but I think it's caught up with him again and the fatigue's kicking in the hamstrings.
So Lingard is on, Jesse Lingard, who scored in the last couple of games of the season against Lask in that second leg, and also of course that very late second goal against Leicester when Manchester United clinched their place in the Champions League for next season. So next season, which seems to have already begun, even though this season has still got a little way to go. Manchester United 1-0 up on FC Copenhagen, but that's careless. Zeka has nipped it back from Lindelof. He's got it in the United right back area. Zeka plays it back behind him, and that's going to be taken away back towards the halfway line, where Bjelland is being closely watched by Martial. And then he gets it back. The central defender plays it across to Victor Nelson, who will just knock it forward and then get it back himself. Nelson out to the right hand side. Bartolet takes it on down the right wing. He's got Bøving behind him, and he uses the teenager. Then back to Nelson. We've got 7 minutes of extra time to play. Manchester United leading 1-0, but slightly nervously as Copenhagen continue to come forward. Mudryzaya, now Zeka back towards Bjelland, down the left hand side to Bengtsson, and the Swede gives it back to Zeka, who just gets a touch back towards the halfway line to Bjelland again. Patient stuff from Copenhagen. Bengtsson again, down the left side, wins or at least hopes to win a throw-in off Wan-Bissaka. The referee says the final touch was indeed off the Manchester United man. A throw-in for the Copenhagen number 3 to take, which he does. And then it's back to Zeka again. Copenhagen certainly patient about their approach here, just waiting for the opening to come, if it will. Manchester United, for once, having to be content without the ball at their feet. Again, Bjelland. Zeka has dropped very deep, gives it to Bengtsson on the left-hand side. Then back to Zeka again. Final minutes of this quarter-final, extra time. Manchester United 1-0 up. Wolves against Sevilla tomorrow night. You'll hear that on BBC Radio 5 Live. Here, the ball on the right-hand side for Copenhagen with Bartolet infield towards Mudryzaya. Still going, uses Bartolet. He continues his run. The ball is played to Bøving. Bøving now just outside the box, back towards Vint. Vint rolls it across. Zeka now to the left-hand side to Bengtsson. Is that ball going to come in from Bengtsson? It does. A high cross, but that's over everyone inside the penalty area. Needed a better delivery than that from the left-back. It's out for a throw.
Well, they'd worked it really well. They had a good possession in United's half. United not really pressing the ball, getting back into shape and just allowing them to have the ball. And when it comes out to the left, got to put a good delivery into the box. I mean, they've got to say the pace has dropped to a walking pace. The players look absolutely shattered from both sides.
1-0 Manchester United, hoping to win the Europa League for the second time in 4 years after in 4 seasons after their win in 2017 under Jose Mourinho. which was the last trophy that Manchester United won. Here's Bartolet's down the right-hand side. Bartolet's rolling it on. Birving pulls it back to the near post. Kaufman was in there, but Lindelof went with him. And the Manchester United man was able to deflect it behind and then goes across and gives Williams a bit of advice.
Yeah, because he's got him behind him there moving. Lindelof did really well. Kaufman get across the near post. You see Lindelof there just explaining to Brandon Williams that you've got to stay with the runner.
Corner then for Copenhagen. Score now and there'll probably be penalties. Bengtsson to take this, raises his right arm, swings it into the 6-yard box, headed away, this time by Matic, nodded back into the United box, cleared away by Wan-Bissaka. Good distance, it bounces out of play in front of the empty stands on the far side of the stadium in Cologne. Throw-in taken, back to Johnson, who made a series of saves, most notably in the first period of extra time, but also a couple in normal time as well. But Manchester United over the piece after a shaky start have gradually got better in the match.
No, without a doubt, as the game went on, United became the better team. They were getting in great positions. There was just a final ball, they were forcing things. They looked like the team that was going to score, although Copenhagen that were a threat on the break. But in this period now, United are sat back and Copenhagen are showing great patience. They're passing the ball around side to side and waiting for that opportunity to arise, a little bit like I was saying what United should have done. If you keep moving the ball side to side and are patient, gaps appear, bigger gaps appear, and Copenhagen are doing that now.
And here's Birving, the 17-year-old, challenged by Matic. The ball runs into the penalty area, but the referee has brought it back, just waited to see if there was going to be an advantage, but Birving was fouled and it's a free kick to Copenhagen in the United left-back area.
Oh, silly challenge from Matic. Man of his experience just dives in there and Birving. Really, really good opportunity this.
It was men against boys, that, wasn't it? Free kick for Copenhagen on the right. And, well, this is, we've got a packed penalty area. Bengtsson's going to take this. Romero at his near post. He could swing it in. The 6-yard box has got 7 Manchester United outfield players in it and 5 Copenhagen players either in or just outside. He's going to whip it in, you would think, and see what happens. A 2-man wall. The referee's got to keep a very close watch on this, and he's actually sending out instructions as he walks around the penalty area. So Bengtsson to play it in, he's going to lay it back to the edge of the penalty area, but the touch was heavy on the edge of the box, and that means that Manchester United can run it away with Lingard, and with Copenhagen having men committed upfield, Lingard loses out as he tried to take it on, and it was played back by Brian Oviedo to the goalkeeper, and Copenhagen can come again. But we've got only a minute of added time to play now, and Copenhagen passing it forward. I suppose the idea to lay it back to the edge of the box, but it just needed a better delivery.
Well, he telegraphed it, you could see it coming, they'd emptied the edge of the box.
Birving plays it to Bengtsson. Bengtsson now low in, but blocked by the outstretched right leg of Wan-Bissaka.
They've been sloppy, United, in this second part of the extra time. They've had no possession, they dropped off, they've allowed Copenhagen just to get passes of the ball, and it's brought on all this pressure.
It's almost like they've blown themselves out with the effort that they put in the first 15-20 minutes of extra time. And Copenhagen are finishing strongly, but there are only seconds to play. Manchester United close to a place in the semi-finals. Wan-Bissaka wins it back from Bengtsson and then plays it out near the halfway line, and I make it that's just about it. You can hear, I think, the sound of Ståle Solbekken's voice barking away, and United are going to make another change to try and eke away another few seconds. Scott McTominay is going to come on, and he's going to take the place of Anthony Martial, who won the penalty that led to the only goal that we've seen.
Just picking somebody on, maybe just to stop the 2 centre-backs, maybe just fresh legs, try and get closer to the Copenhagen centre-backs who have just dictated the play in the last 10 minutes.
Martial wanders off, and McTominay is on. and I make it that we're into added time at the end of extra time. It's been a struggle for United. FC Copenhagen have certainly made them work, but they're almost there and into the semi-final, which will be back in that stadium in Cologne on Sunday. We will bring it to you. Either Wolves or Sevilla will be the opponents. That match you'll be able to hear on 5 Live tomorrow night, also an 8 o'clock kickoff UK time. 2 minutes of added time then, and we've already had a minute and 15 seconds, so only 45 seconds of time to play. Lingard's got the ball for Manchester United. Lingard inside Copenhagen territory, and Matic for a careless pass. There might be time for one final attack. 30 seconds to play. Ståle Solbakken urging on his team. It's got to go forward for Copenhagen. Oviedo on the left-hand side. They're pouring forward, the white shirts. Oviedo to Bengtsson. 15 seconds to go. Bengtsson back onto his right foot. A right-footed cross has gone a long way. It's headed away by Williams on the edge of the 6-yard box over the top of 2 Copenhagen players inside the penalty area. Bruno Fernandes has gone down. He's clutching his thigh. He's got cramp. But the referee says, I think, is that it? It is. The final whistle has gone, and Manchester United have been pushed all the way by FC Copenhagen in the first European quarter-final that they've ever been in. But Manchester United have won it with that penalty early in extra time from Bruno Fernandes, and the 2 former Norwegian international teammates, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Ståle Solbakken, the 2 coaches, go to one another and put an arm around each other and have a little chat about it. But United did it in the end, Philip Neville.
They did. It was a struggle. It was a struggle at times. There was lack of quality in particularly the first 75-80 minutes of the game, but then in that first period of extra time, United came alive. Martial, Mata, Rashford won it for them with just a moment of brilliance that won the penalty, and then Fernandes sticks it away, and United probably deserved to go through.
Yeah, it was a strange game. I don't know whether it was a pre-season game or an end-of-season game. I don't know whether it was the weather. United were very, very flat. They were clearly the better team, but fair play to Copenhagen. They made it hard for them. They caused them problems. They were a threat. United just didn't get up to the level that they've been at recently. Definitely dropped off, and it just shows you when you don't reach those levels and you're not at it, you can make the game interesting. And then they get 1-0 up and you think game over, go and finish them off with a second goal. But while it's only 1-0, Copenhagen are still in the game, and they made it a really uncomfortable end to the match for United. And United thankfully held on, but that just shows you have to be ruthless, you have to be clinical. When you get these chances to make it 2 and 3-0, that completely kills teams off. Well, it's only 1-0, a set piece, a little bit of brilliance, and all of a sudden you take yourself to penalty kicks or you drop points and you're out of the competition.
Darren Fletcher, Philip Neville, thank you very much for your socially distant company. And Manchester United winning it with that penalty from Bruno Fernandes and are through to the semi-finals of the Europa League. Manchester United 1, FC Copenhagen 0.